It's time!
Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. T-Will's here. One time for the fan. Episode 201.
In the building. What's
Happy
up?
Mother's Day to all the beautiful, amazing mothers of the world.
That's right. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to my wife. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Because, hey, we need mothers every day. So, yep. Jack, happy to be here, man. Let's get to it.
This is great. I can't even get my message out. Show has started. Chat is lit. Chat is live. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Got my Rise Up Tour fan club shirt on.
Rise up.
We just had an amazing, damn near 2-hour podcast pre-recorded that will be dropping shortly with Thomas Scott from the Rise Up Tour. And before we get into that, let's go somewhere else, because we did talk about something the other day, giving out shout outs and everything. And a major shout out goes to everybody over there at the Rise Up Tour fan club for what they do. Because we've given flowers to journalists and players and coaches, but the flowers do go out to everybody over there at the Rise Up Tour fan club. So Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Hope everybody is doing well. Terry, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I have no complaints. Hey, thank God that I'm here. Thank God that he woke me up. Thank God that he woke my mama up. Hey, thank God for my family. My job, this podcast, our fans, all the mothers in our chat, all the mothers who are Falcon fans, and all the Falcon fans in general, man. Just happy to be here. And, hey, man, looking forward to getting started. So, Jack, I'm going to defer to you.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and so much more. You can catch One Time for the Fan. Once again, this is episode 201. Changing setups around, so you probably saw me in a different location last time. Now I'm in the open area now. Now they kicked me from the corner to another corner. Now they just put me in the middle of the room. So I guess I'll just be here for the coming podcast that we have here on One Time for the Fan. But here's the cool thing. I get a perfect view. Before I had the side angle, I was watching the TV from like this way. But now I get a perfect view of my 80-inch TV of Braves Mets. That's on right now. And I know a lot of Braves fans are upset because, you know, they've taken what was it? Comcast, Xfinity. I guess they pulled the channel from Braves fans or whatever the networks. They have a situation going on with Bally Sports or something, but ESPN is showing the Braves game right now.
Yep.
It's on.
Yeah.
Braves Mets going for the sweep. Terry?
Yep. No. You're right. I'm agreeing with you. Comcast they couldn't agree with Bally Sports in regards to it's contract negotiation, and prices typically go up, and I guess they couldn't come to an agreement, and so Comcast said, you know what, we're not going to carry the games anymore. But there's a bit of finality because I believe the group that owns Bally Sports filed for bankruptcy, so they may not be back. They may not be back, and baseball will address that. But yes, the Braves are on ESPN right now, and I guess because I have another network. Can we say what networks we have on this podcast?
You can say whatever you want. We're not signing to nobody.
I'm with Spectrum. Oh, you're somebody, Jack. I'm with Spectrum, and so we still have them to this point. But like I say, that could change. But yeah, for now the Braves are on there, and I think it's tied 1-1. So hopefully we can pull out the sweep. But yeah, man, let's get into some Falcons, Jack. Let's do it.
Well, let's try to catch up with the chat because the chat is live, chat is lit. Tag your Falcons friends, tell your Falcons family. Go ahead and get them in the chat. We want to talk Falcons football with everybody. And you know how we keep it real here on the podcast. We don't bash no players. We're not bashing the team. We just want to talk Falcons. We want to talk Falcons with the fans. We want to talk Falcons with the Falcons community, with your auntie, with your cousin, with your sister. If your dog can talk Falcons, bring your dog to the podcast. That's how it gets here.
Bring in Butch.
One time for the fan. Terry, you also have the monitor set up behind you. You're also checking out the security cameras too as well. So when any special guest stops by, you'll be able to let us know if any special guest has entered the parking lot.
We'll do, man. We'll check up on it. Hey, man, looks like Deshaun dropped one in there, and He might have me on this one. He might have me. This feels like something that would be by Public Enemy.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a song that would be released by Public Enemy, which means it's probably not. I have no idea who.
Black Sunday. I'm going to go with Eric Sermon and what was it? EPMD? Was that the group?
I'm going to go with The Far Side.
The Far Side? I'll go with EPMD. What you got, Deshaun? Give us the answer in the chat. You know, we're not over here Googling stuff if we're giving you wrong answers on a live podcast.
I got to be authentic.
Talking Falcons football with everybody here in the chat. Terry, it's going to be a long night of talking Falcons football. I'm going to let you know right now. And a long week of Falcon football podcast going on here with One Time for the Fan because, damn, that's a clean-ass Braves jacket Snicker got.
It is, isn't it?
Lord, that's
the navy blue.
I'm sorry, Falcon fans, but I'm watching the Braves game right now, and they're talking to Brian Snicker.
That is clean.
That is one of the cleanest Braves jacket I've ever seen.
That is clean. Yes, sir.
And it's not even cold out right now, and I don't know why he's decked. Is that a hoodie? That's a hoodie.
It is a hoodie.
Are you kidding me?
How
cold is it in New York right now that he's wearing that right now?
I don't know. Hey Siri, what's the temp in New York?
What's the temperature out there?
53 degrees right now.
53 degrees. I see why they're so
53 degrees right now. Yeah.
Smooth season in the chat. One time for the one time.
One time for the one time. Hey, Miss Pam. She's in the chat.
Chat is live. Chat is lit. Tell your Falcons friends. Tell your Falcons family. We know we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. And it started with 2 subscribers. Me and my cat. And then then I added my dog. Then I added my neighbor. Then I added my other neighbor. No, I'm just playing. But it started with just, a couple Falcon fans that we just chatting up here. And now we're over 800 and something subscribers. Big shout out to Bodie. Big shout out to Chase. Dirty Fanatics United too as well. Carrie's in the chat. Falcons fam. One Sunday closer to Falcons football.
That's right.
Carrie, the rookies are at camp. We're going to talk about that shortly. I know a lot of Falcon fans saw Michael Penix at camp too as well. They're excited about the future, and you got to be excited about right now, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about some Kirk Cousins tonight because he is medically cleared to get out there and play some Falcons football, right? Bud Dupree's gone to LA. We'll talk about that too as well. But the chat is live. The chat is lit. And for those that's in here from the Rise Up tour, big shout out to everybody from the Rise Up tour. Also, if you're planning on going on the road this year, we have a little special little announcement for you all. That's going to be great, I think, for all the fans that's traveling on the road. DSGB Hall is in the chat. He's dropping emojis around. False Start Falcons in the chat. What's up with the False Start Falcon? Big shout out, False Start.
What's up, DSGB?
Jeff Wolf said at least they are consistent. He's talking about the time frame. I know Jeff Wolf.
What's up, Jeff?
Jeff Wolf. Atlanta Hawks with the first pick in the upcoming draft.
Saw that. I you know what? We got to get this right, man. We got to get this right. This almost never happens. We have to get this pick right. We have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, got to do it right.
Atlanta Hawks with the first pick in the draft, winning the lottery, which I know a lot of Hawks fans are here in the chat. They want to see the Hawks select. I'm getting ready to say Falcons. We talk Falcons so much. They want to see the Hawks select a star, right? I mean, they had Trae Young, who's here. They have Murray, who's here. But there's some other pieces that you got to put around Trae Young and Murray to get back to the playoffs, right? To get back, not no play-in game, to get back to that Eastern Conference Finals, right? To get back to where you were at one point in time where you was actually decent enough to know that you'd make it out the first round. Mm-hmm. Now people see the Hawks like, oh, they're going to get first rounded, right? So we want to make sure that the Hawks do select somebody who's going to be able to help the team in a major way. Terry, your thoughts about the Hawks, man? I know they got the number 1 pick. I mean, there's a guy from France. They're saying it's 7-1. This is the kid that they might be going with. I think his name is Theo Star or something, but 7-1. This kid is. There's a lot of big guys coming out into the NBA from college this year. They have the kid from Connecticut, the kid from Purdue, right? There's a kid from Gonzaga, another one from Northwestern. So there's a couple 7-footers that's going to be coming out. And this young man from France apparently might be the number 1 pick. But Terry, good news for not only the Falcons with the rookies back at camp and everything, and the news of Kirk Cousins, but the Hawks get good news about them getting the number 1 pick.
It's good news if they make the right pick.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we really need to, man. This summer we really need to nail this pick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still some folks who think we should have taken Luka over Trey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm one of them, but we desperately need to get this pick right. So this 7-footer, can he score? Can he drop threes? I would imagine in France, they typically focus on shooting when you talk about the European League. So, hey, if he can drop threes, if he can handle the rock, I'm okay with it. We need somebody who can defend and somebody who can score. We definitely need a big, but he doesn't need to be in the mold of Tree Rollins. Like, he needs to be able to shoot and drain some threes. That's just my personal opinion. I take it. Look, hey, I do not know basketball, so take that for what it's worth. Okay, but yeah, man, I just want to see my Hawks win some games in the playoffs. Like Jack said, I'm tired of this, play in one and done. And I'd like to see us get to the finals. You know what I mean?
Hawks got to get back to, those Al Horford years, the Joe Johnson time.
Yeah,
like there was actually, at least consistent enough to make it to the playoffs where we can hopefully see a little bit of a run, have some type of hope. But this ain't about the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, I'm still pissed at Vinny Duvadova or whatever his name is. I hate that guy because he injured both Kyle Korver and somebody else that was instrumental.
Oh, Deladova, yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand him because he did it intentionally. You could see that, right? And we haven't been the same since. So
also the Trae Young injury, I think the referee when he was playing Milwaukee, where they had a chance to win the game and go to the Eastern, go to the finals. So we could have beat Milwaukee that series too. But I do want to see the Hawks get back on track. But for the Falcon fans here in the chat, a lot to talk about here. So hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Big shout out to all the admins that allow one time for the fan to podcast in your groups on social media. So big shout out to you all.
Yes.
Anybody wants to be a special guest on the podcast, reach out to me so we can go ahead and set that up. But we just had a 2-hour podcast with Thomas Scott from the Rise Up Tour. Got my Rise Up Tour shirt on. Rise Up Tour fan club is in the building. So big shout out to all the fan club members. But we're going to post a video afterwards so fans can see what we got going on this year with the Rise Up Tour. And of course, people have a lot of questions with the Rise Up Tour fan club and what we do on the road and just how we've taken off on a whole new level. So Terry, I'm glad you was able to join us for that. It was supposed to be about 30 minutes, turned into about 2 hours, but that's how it is when we talk not only Falcons, but we talk with the Falcon fans, or we talk to the Falcon fans about what we have going on with the Rise Up Tour fan club. Terry, what did you think of that? Because I know fans haven't seen the interview yet with me and Thomas, but what did you think of that as you was, asking the questions and hearing the information that was provided from me and Thomas?
I was really, Thomas said something, and I don't want to, spoiler alert, I don't want to ruin it, but he said something that just really connected with me, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for obviously our audience to see it, but I'm excited for the Rise Up Tour. I'm excited for the growth. The fact that you guys just happened to meet on this chance encounter, and from that was born a movement. It's outstanding, man. So I really enjoyed asking you guys questions. I think we had a little bit of fun. I think it was fun too. Some fun sprinkled in there, but I definitely enjoyed it. It's a worthwhile cause. Hey man, essentially it's Falcon fans getting together at away games and enjoying each other. And hey man, you're going from fans to family, right? That's the whole crux of it. I think it's great that as Falcons fans, we now have a lane, a venue to, go to a city and we can be together. You know what I mean? It's a very lonely experience on the road when you go to a sporting event. So to be able to share a meal with your Falcons brethren and sister, and to be able to go to the game together, to be able to get together at halftime, to be able to visit some sites, I think it adds a new element to that of travel. And I'm going to shut up right now because I'm giving away half the show. But I enjoyed it. It was great. It was fun. I learned a lot. And my respect for you and Thomas has grown exponentially. Those are my thoughts on it. What were your thoughts on it, Jack?
Me and Thomas talk every day, so we always talk about the tour. The fan club is something that's it's been on our minds since 2017, 2018, man. So we've been doing this for a while, and we're going to continue to do it. And fans are always hitting us up about what to do on the road and XYZ. So just be prepared for it. Because at the end of the podcast today, we have a special announcement. I know some people that want to sign up. Well, I talked to Thomas, of course, and we got a little flash sale coming up. So I know people want to go ahead and sign up. Well, there's a flash sale where you can get the membership at a very much discounted price, which I know fans going to be like, oh, shit, what's going on now? Yeah, so it's going down in a major way. I'll pay the differences. Don't worry about it. And don't tell Thomas. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Ramel's in the chat. Auntie Pam is in the chat. Eric Parker, Falcon fan, diehard
LBB
is in
What's
the
up,
chat.
LBB?
Well. Krinsman Huntsman is in the chat. April Thomas is in the chat. There he is. Thomas Scott's in the chat. I think he heard about it. Okay, Thomas in the chat. So since he heard about it, that's what we're going to do. But for Falcon fans here that want to travel to away games, we got a lot that's going on this season, and we definitely want you to be a part of it. Deshaun said it's Cypress Hill.
He got me with that one, man.
We was in the era, though. We said EPMD. We said Public Enemy. So we was in that range, though. We didn't go far back to the 70s and so on, but Cypress Hill.
Sugar Hill gang. Yeah, no. But he got me. Hey, Deshaun, this round goes to you, brother. This round goes to you. Well done. Well done.
Jeff Wolf is in the chat. Carrie's in the chat. Deshaun Coswell is in the chat. Our special guest from last week, Lisa Shepard.
Lisa Shepard. Hey, Miss Lisa.
The chat too as well.
Yeah, I think I saw Miss Pam as well. Hey, Miss Pam. Hey, Lisa.
Miss Pam said, what happened to Riley? What happened with Austin Riley? He just get injured? Some news just broke about Austin Riley.
That
exited the game versus the Mets with a precaution with left side tightness. I'm back and forth watching the podcast in the game, so I see.
That usually means an oblique, which is not good. Because if you know anything about obliques, it's at least a month, if not 6 weeks. When they say left side, they didn't say his leg. They said left side. That's typically on a swing and that oblique. And that's going to take a minute.
Well, let's just make sure he's good to go for, of course, the playoff run, which I'm sure the Braves will be going on this year too as well. And a lot of Braves fans are expecting them to win the World Series this year again because, the team is stacked. The roster is stacked. I think Chris Sale is pitching his ass off right now. And, of course, we got another couple pictures that's doing a very good job too as well. But the Braves still looking like the best team in baseball. Die-hard Atlanta Falcon fan Lorenzo Leon is in the chat. Big shout out to Lorenzo.
In the chat, man. What's up? What's up,
good, man?
Lorenzo? What's up, Carrie?
Falcon fans are lit. They are in the chat. It is going down. Eric Parker said Hawks about to draft a quarterback. Get those Laker fans out the chat.
That is the most Eric Parker
those Laker fans out of here.
You know what? That's my brother, man.
Go to a Celtics chat. Go pick on somebody your own size. April Thomas is there in the chat. He could do it all. He could do it all. Atlanta Falcons pandemic. What's good one time?
What's up, Atlanta Falcons pandemic? Oh my God.
Took it back with True Rollins. Sheesh.
I did. You're right. I did. I went way back. I really. Danny Roundfield. You're right.
It is live. It is lit. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button. Tell your Falcons friend, tag your Falcons family. Joseph Avery's on the chat. Hey fellas, how are y'all? My wife and I think the Falcons did very well in free agency and the draft. We give us an A on both sides of the ball. I think we're going to be really good this season. Go Falcons. Terry, quick hot take on what Joseph Avery is speaking on.
Yeah, I think we needed a quarterback. We went out and got two. We needed to address the defensive line. We addressed that in spades. No pun intended.
Sheesh.
Which, by the way, you dropped a spades reference, Jack. I'm not ignoring the crowd. My laptop is getting ready to die, so I need to find the plug. Here it is. You dropped a spades reference in the previous podcast.
Oh, big hit. Oh,
did he score?
Did we get one? Yep.
Yeah, he did. You dropped the spades reference, so I got a question for you. This is Georgia, as you know, and so we tend to remix rules. So my question is, when you play spades, do you play spades? Well, your name is Jackson. You play spades.
Yeah, I play spades.
Do you play with deuces wild? Do you play ace high, or do you just play with both jokers? No deuces wild. What's going on at the Jack Spade house? Like when you play spades,
we play joker, deuce.
Okay.
Play joker, big joker, little joker. Was that ace diamond? 2 diamonds, 2 spades.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's it. And that's how we normally play. And I play spades. I want to go back and say this so Falcon fans know. I played spades when I have a good spades partner. I just don't play spades. Right? I have a good spades partner. I just don't sit down at the table and waste that 30, 45 minutes of time when I have somebody over there on the other side that doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to book counting, doesn't know when it comes to sandbagging, doesn't know when it comes to trapping players. Of course, in certain holes, you got to know how to play spades. You got to know how to trap players. And it's crazy because I love spades, man. You know, dominoes too as well. But when you have a good spades partner, yes. But joker, deuce, Terry.
I hear that. No, in regards to this, I think the Falcons did well. You know, they addressed, I would say with the exception of the secondary, they addressed all of their major needs. They addressed the defensive line in a major way. We drafted a receiver. We drafted a running back. We drafted another linebacker. We definitely drafted a quarterback for the future. So when I think about it, I would agree with that. I would think they would get an A on both sides. What say you, Jack? What are your thoughts regarding that?
Falcons did a good job this offseason, just like they did last year, bringing in Jesse Bates and so on, Caden Ellis. And, of course, you know, they try to do the best with the coaching staff of, you know, reshaping the coaching staff, which I think, you know, some of the coaches that stick, man, come on, Braves, what are you doing? I'll keep watching. I'm looking at the podcast. Maybe I have to go back to the other way my format was set up because I'm looking at the Braves game. I'm looking at this, and it's kind of distracting. But then again, it's the Braves. But they did a good job of bringing in the players that they need to fill the right gaps this year from outside media and, of course, fans who like to hate on the team saying, you need to go get this guy. Go get this guy. Make sure you get a wide receiver. Make sure you get an edge rusher. Make sure you get a quarterback. Well, we did, right? And I think Joseph Avery, and for his wife and for other fans here in the chat, you have to feel good about the Falcons offseason so far. I think the big shocker of it all is Michael Penix, which we will talk about here in a couple minutes. But otherwise than that, I think they had a good offseason. I have nothing wrong with what the Braves did. Then again, once again, we don't work for the team. This podcast is not in partnership with the Falcons, so it's us. It's one time for the fan. It's from the fan for the fan. So we're just telling you how we feel from the fan perspective. They did a good job. They did a good job this offseason. And they still have some money to play with, too, as well. I'm sure they're going to do some restructures, right? And they're not going to go into next year broke, right? They're not going to go into the year after broke. I mean, even the Kirk Cousins situation may scare a couple fans, but they're not broke right now, right? They got Kirk at market value for what it was. And he probably put on a bag of chips on top of it. But that's how most quarterbacks are. I mean, you got to pay for, you know, elite processor. But big shout out to all the fans here in the chat too as well. Pamela Johnson said, did I miss an information meeting? No, nothing with the Rise Up tour. We just put out a podcast so that way fans can just know more about the tour. The fan club is really growing right now. And we got a lot of people knocking on the door right now trying to get in the fan club. So, of course, with the memberships and everything, we just want to put some things out. Why are you going to swing at that pick? Why would you swing at that? We got some I'm a fan, y'all. I'm sorry. So it's like you don't want to see me at the game sometimes because it's like, okay, Jack, we're talking Falcons here, man.
Look away, Jack. Look away.
I'm gonna the next podcast. I'm turning the table back the other way. I don't know if I can do this with the Braves on. But of course, Falcon fans. Once again, the Rise Up Tour fan club is taking off in a whole new direction. Lorenzo said Riley going to be all right. Same thing happened to our catcher, Sean Murphy. Go Braves. Anthony White's in the chat.
Sean Murphy's still out, Jack. So an oblique is, you know, like you say, I think he'll definitely be back at some time this season, but they can be very lengthy. Yeah. So we're in what? Today's May the 12th. Mm-hmm. Season started March the 29th or whatever, and Sean Murphy's still out. And again, there are, to the gentleman who said that, there are varying degrees of those side injuries and oblique injuries. So if it's a light oblique injury, he might be back within 3 weeks. But if he really did it,
the homie Lorenzo is a diehard Falcon fan, and he's a diehard Braves fan
love it
as well. So
love it.
When you start your podcast, Terry, with your Falcon and Braves podcast, Lorenzo, you should go check out T. Will. He's going to be doing the Falcons and Braves podcast.
We'd love to have you over there, man. When I get started, I'm definitely gonna look forward to interacting.
Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Anthony White said, just like an Atlanta team, Hawks get the number 1 pick in a year when there is no generational talent in the draft. Well, the Hawks got to make somebody good, man.
Yeah.
Somebody coming out in this draft right here is going to win the NBA championship.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to win it.
Got to do it. I just hope we get the right pick, man. I hope we get the right pick.
April Thomas in the chat.
April
the guy
says
overseas is nice. That's the Star or Sar, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy, man. The Hawks land the right pick. I can't even imagine. I mean, you have the Bulldogs that's going to be on a mound of success going forward. Kirby Smart's going to be here for a while. Then you have, of course, the Braves, probably damn near the best team in baseball. There's nobody at the Mets game too as well. That's how you know your team is. That's how you know your team is mid. But the Braves, probably getting ready to win another World Series here, if not this year, in the next couple of years, because they have the best roster in baseball. The Hawks getting the number 1 pick now. The Falcons with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix and Raheem Morris and the city's just gearing up. Even they might even get hockey soon, right? And if they get hockey, that's going to be crazy. Hell, they might even have a pickleball tournament coming up here in a matter of weeks. You never even know. Atlanta's getting ready to go crazy. You might even have a pickleball team out here.
You ever play pickleball?
I have not, nor have I watched it, but I've heard.
I've watched it. I've never played it. But it's it's interesting.
Lorenzo was in the chat. Jack, I live
vicariously through you on
do the trip to Brazil, a place I've always wanted to visit. Man, let's tell you something, Lorenzo. It's a beautiful place. Definitely, if you get a chance to go visit. And of course, anytime you get a chance to travel. Right? It don't even have to be South America, right? If you want to travel to Europe, if you want to travel to Africa, if you want to travel to Australia, if you want to travel to Canada. Well, I don't know. Drake's out there. I wouldn't travel to Canada.
It's a shot from Kendrick. Okay.
But even if you're traveling in the cities in the States and you're taking your family or you're going to meet up with your friends, man, just travel, right? Enjoy it. I know Falcon fans in the chat they're looking for that schedule release this Wednesday, because they want to travel to go see what? The Falcons play the Raiders in Vegas. Everybody's talking about Vegas. People are prepared to travel, right? So even for the Saints, they're talking about going to Vegas more than they're talking about going to New Orleans, which we hate the Aints, right? But then again, Falcon fans love going to New Orleans. Like, it's a good experience. But Falcon fans are in the chat. They're live and they're lit. Let's go straight to some Falcons football, because the chat is so live. We ain't going to catch up to everybody, but we're going to try to. Terry.
Yes, sir.
My boy Raheem standing on business, man.
Yes, he is.
Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Don't you ask him about certain players, because he's not going to tell you, darn it.
So, of course, rookie minicamp is underway. But before rookie minicamp started, Raheem was speaking to the media. And, of course, Raheem doing what he does best. He's a people's coach. He's a media's coach, right? And he lights up the room every time he speaks, right? And of course, for most journalists, they're going to ask questions that they want to know. I don't know if it's, sometimes to try to get some inside information from Raheem and Terry, right? Or if it's just them just doing their job. But a journalist asked, I don't know which one it is, and big shout out to the journalist, but the journalist asked Raheem about some information on some of the rookies before they went out there to rookie minicamp. And Raheem had answered that he wasn't going to give that answer because he didn't want to give away any information to another team before he sees the rookie.
Absolutely, which makes sense.
Which I heard on some other teams' media day or rookie minicamp media day, they were giving away a bunch of information on players. If Raheem wants to see these guys perform at their best out there on the field during practice, he doesn't need to go to the media and speak about, oh, come on, that's a bad hit. Come on, don't let him get the second now. You got to close it in there. But he don't have to talk about, what this player can do to the media. You guys don't need to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that he's here at Flowery Branch for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Falcons see any value in the kid, the Falcons see any accountability and leadership in this guy going forward that can fit the franchise, they're going to keep him a Falcon. They're going to make him a Falcon. But they don't want to release any information about any player to any other team, because I'm sure there's a lot of other teams watching the Falcons right now, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we did sign 2 other players too. We'll talk about that.
We did.
But I'm sure other teams are watching the Falcons. They're saying, man, we can't wait for somebody to get released or cut over there because we're going to sign them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Terry, your thoughts on Raheem standing on business? He's been doing it all season, talking about outrun the South and the energy and communication and other things. Now you hear what he's saying to the media, that he ain't even talking about no rookie to nobody, none of the ops. He ain't gonna talk about that to the ops. What do you think about that, man?
I think Raheem is very wise. I think Raheem is, coached back in 2011, which was 15 years ago, or I think he started in 2009. Okay, Anyway, but I think he learned from his time there. I think he's learned as an defensive coordinator, as a passing game coordinator. I think under certain organizations, he's learned the do's and don'ts. He's seen people steal information. What's interesting is that the Falcons interviewed Belichick first. Mm-hmm. And supposedly, rumor has it that Belichick was going to cut off access to a certain amount of Falcon personnel to certain rooms in the building. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, I thought this was interesting because I'm like, why is he doing that? Well, obviously, he's doing that because he knows that information is probably stolen or borrowed and shared with other organizations. That is a very real thing in that industry. So Raheem was 100% right not to talk about. I'm not going to do you organizations a favor. Oh, this rookie that we have no place for on our team is great. He's awesome. I wish we had a place for him. Please come take him off our practice squad. No, I think Raheem is absolutely right. So I think it was wise. I agree with him. I hate the reporter brought it up, because if she said the rookie's name, then it's kind of out there. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But no, I have no issue with what he did.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you guys have questions about the rookies. I'm sure you guys have questions about the draft. I'm sure you guys have questions about the upcoming season. So I had to reach out to a good friend of mine, Terry. And my good friend hit me back and said, "Oh, Wednesday? No problem. I got enough time in the world." Miles Garrett from Fox 5 is going to be joining us on Wednesday.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
And our boy Miles. Miles gets the job done, man. He's Miles the GOAT.
He does. Jack, I think he's now one up on Scott Karisic.
So we're going to have to get Scott Karisic back to the podcast too as well. But Miles Garrett probably has been on the podcast as a special guest more than anybody. Probably more than Bodie.
Big hey, Bodie, that wasn't me. That wasn't
Bodie's
me.
In his off season. He's chilling. He's probably watching it like,
wasn't
I got
me, Bodie. Hey,
Don't
when you replay this, that was Jack. That was not me. Okay.
Miles Garrett
fired.
From Fox 5 will be joining us. So all the questions that you have about the draft, about Michael Penix, about everything, Miles will be here to talk Falcons with us, right? So everybody, hey, Jack, man, please tell me about this wide receiver core. Tell me about this secondary. Tell me about something. Miles Garrett will be here to talk about it on Wednesday. And he was there at camp, right? There he is. Look, he's doing his job. That's Miles, right? Big shout out to Miles, too, as well, man.
Miles
the GOAT. But yeah, for Falcon fans in the chat, show up Wednesday. Don't know the time is yet. Miles is going to hit me back because he has a busy schedule. Schedule release is happening, right? So he has a busy schedule on Wednesday. But he's going to be here. I think it's going to be a little bit after like 4 or 5, maybe, or maybe we might even do a lunch special. Last time we had Miles on here, it was like 3:00 in the afternoon, right? So pop-up show on Wednesday, and then we have another Wednesday podcast at our scheduled time, 8:00. With the Rise Up Tour fan club, because fans are going to be talking about booking trips and going on the road. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going here. I'm going there. Well, guess what? You want to be a part of a fan club. You want to be a part of a group that represents Terry, as you know, in a major way. And the things that we do is something special. So Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Mateo's in the chat. Big shout out to Mateo. You said offense top 5, defense top 10. Okay. That's what we got here. Pamela Johnson said, I could never play again. My husband and his cousin, they would always run the table. Hey, spades ain't no joke now, especially when that alcohol get flowing now. Telling you. Jeff Wolf said, I cannot wait to see Penix throw down one at camp. Sheesh.
Yeah, me too, Jeff. Me too. Agreed.
Falcon fans going to be showing up to training camp too. It's going to be lit. Mateo said schedule release May 15th. That is right, Mateo. This Wednesday, the schedule release, and there's going to be some leaks coming out before the schedule release. So I advise everybody here in the chat, please look at your confirmations of these leaks. Right? Don't believe a guy who just started his page 2 days ago. Right? And then you're like, oh, look, this guy, he's on Twitter. He has a blue check mark. He started his page on Saturday. Bruh, like he's just trying to get a shit ton of likes, views, and he's probably going to sell you something about tires in a matter of weeks. Like, don't believe that type of stuff. Adam Scheffner, Ian Rappaport, all the big names who cover Jeremy Fowler, all the big names who cover the NFL schedule release, they'll post it. Amazon will post it. I think it went as far as last year or the year before. Amazon Prime was posting the games that they had for their prime time the morning of the schedule release, right? So fans will go into Amazon like, oh, shit, well, it shows the Jets versus the Jags right here on Amazon Prime. So there's ways that you can confirm where each team is playing. But I would rather you look for the verified journalists or report from ESPN or NFL about the confirmation. I'd hate for you all to go spend a bunch of money trying to book your flights to Vegas week 1 when Vegas is really week 7.
I would be so pissed.
That would be dead. It sucks.
Yes,
it sucks.
I would be upset about that.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, and hit that subscribe button. Smitty is in the chat. Smitty Sports Machines.
Smitty, what's up, man? How goes it, sir?
Big shout out to Smitty in the chat. He said, "SAR or bust." Trae Young rumors about to start heating up. Sheesh.
I hear that.
Sheesh.
Well, hey, man. Smitty's saying it is almost like Bert O'Donnell's saying it. I mean, they're on the same show. So, maybe that's the guy we take.
They do speak the truth, I must say. Big shout out to all the Falcon fans in the chat. Pamela Johnson said, can't wait to go to Germany when the Falcons go. My bucket list is Greece. So big shout out to all the Falcon fans here in the chat. Once again, that's going to be traveling this season or in the future because the Falcons do play in Germany somewhat in the future. You can clearly see that's going to happen because we have the international marketing rights for Germany, right?
Yep.
And they did it for London back in 2011 or 12. And then we went, I think the year or two after, we went to go play the Lions, right? So now with Germany probably going to be on the schedule. Who knows if it's next year, the year after that, but it's probably going to happen, right? So just be prepared for that. And we're going to be out there having a good time too as well. Ben Wade Markham says, so cool if all teams win. Let's go Braves, Hawks, Falcons, United. Can't forget about United. I mean, they had a disappointing loss yesterday, but United got to get it on track. Pamela Johnson said, don't be late to his press conference. He will call you out joking. Sheesh. Raheem is serious now. He stands on business.
He stands on business for real.
Chat is live. Chat is lit. Mateo said, people mad at us for drafting MPJ, yet forget the Eagles season was saved by Foles. Having the most NFL-ready quarterback doesn't sound bad when 66 quarterbacks played last season.
That is a very, 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 very valid point, Mateo.
Mateo in the chat dropping facts.
As a matter of fact, I hear that, man. As a matter of fact, he not only saved their season, he won the Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more than it's like he won the Super Bowl. So I would agree with that. And that's a very good point. Let's say something does happen to Cousins. At least we have a solid backup to the extent that something does happen. So I think that's a very salient point. It's the most important position on the field. And ladies and gentlemen, we have two of them. We have two very good quarterbacks. So be proud. Don't be ashamed. Be happy about it. And Again, kill the narrative. Kill the narrative. Tune out the outside noise. This is a good thing. I would agree.
Falcon
Jack,
fans.
I hear the Falcons made a move. Didn't they sign 2 players here
The
recently?
Falcons did make a move this week. Let me go ahead and pull that up. My boy Bradley Anan. Oh, how you pronounce his name? Anane? Ane?
Ane. I believe it's Ane.
It's Bradley Ane? Okay, well, we was gonna call him Sir B. We'll call him Sir B. We gotta butcher his name all day. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. I want to pull this up of before we get to the 2 players. I tried to pull it up of Michael Penix. I know fans here in the chat, they want to see some video. Yo, Jack, show that Michael Penix ball, man. You see that spiral? You see that spiral on that ball? Hey, I'm gonna pull it up for you. Here it goes. Big shout out to the chat too as well, man. Love to see the chat live and lit because we're getting closer to Falcon season. There it is. Penix. Boom, zip. That looked like my pass when I threw that 80.
Oh, yeah?
I was on the run, though.
Same tight spiral?
Yeah, I was on the run. Let me pull
on
it
the
up
run
in
in 20,
y'all can see.
In 25-degree weather while it was snowing, barefoot.
Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, hit that subscribe. What y'all think about Michael Penix throw? 1, you like it. 2, you don't like it. What? Terry, what you think?
Hey man, it's a tight spiral. I mean, look, that dude has talent. That arm has velocity and accuracy, and it's rare that you get such a combination. Usually you have a lot of velocity, but you don't know where it's going, or you know where it's going, but you kind of lack a little in the velocity capacity. But looks like Mr. Penix has the best of both worlds. So a rare unicorn in that he has an arm, he can make every throw, he can sling it. And he's accurate. So,
For fans in the chat that haven't been to training camp, this is where you'll be at. You'll be right here, right behind this tent, right over here. So
is that the infamous hill? Is that the infamous hill?
That's the infamous hill, but it's worse than that. It's actually going down on this side. Hold on. I can get a better picture of the hill. Hold on. Excuse me. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Why did it not pull up? I'll get it in just a second. Okay.
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties.
Yes, the infamous hill. I will pull up in just a second. Let me see here. It's not allowing me to back out this video. Oh, wait, here we go. Yes. All right, I got it up. I got it up now. Here it is. Terry, you see it?
Not as of yet, sir. I do not see it.
Is it not up on the channel? Come on, Falcons.
It is not up on the channel, sir. I regret to inform you. Okay.
Is it
Something's
over here?
coming. There we go. I don't know.
Here we go. So you'll see the hill in the video right here. So for Falcon fans that haven't been in training camp, the hill is bad. So I definitely want to be on the bottom of that hill if you're running up to go get food or go get drinks after, it rains the night before. Some fans are wearing flip-flops. Some fans are wearing shoes. I've seen some fans wearing cleats out there, Terry.
I'm thinking about doing that, Jack. I'm thinking about doing that. Wearing cleats out there. I really am. Not necessarily the screw in type, but just for extra footing. Because if I decide to take that hill and I fall, my brother will never let me hear the end of it. My brother would probably come on this podcast just to talk about me falling up or down that hill. Like it would happen. Mm-hmm. And it would never go away. Mm-hmm. It would never go away. And I just don't want to give him that kind of ammo. So for that and a litany of other reasons, yeah, I think I'm going to just wear the cleats when we do go out there just to make sure my footing is sound, But again, I'm rocking the 265. I'm not like, you see what he said? You see that? You see that? Yeah. He would do it. He knows he would do it. He would absolutely do it. There'd be a meme on my Facebook the minute after I fell. He probably would video it and then send it, Love you, bro.
Shit.
But yeah, no, I'm wearing cleats, man. I'm all about that cleat life when we go out there. Definitely.
Other Falcons news and updates for you all. Bud Dupree.
Signed with the
A lot of you all
Chargers.
wanted him. I know a lot of you all wanted him back with the Falcons this year. He will not be back with the Falcons. Bud Dupree is going to be signing with the Los Angeles Chargers. Well, guess what? The Los Angeles Chargers also played the Atlanta Falcons this year.
Isn't that something? The Revenge Bowl just keeps on going round and round. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
A small Revenge Bowl. I mean, I know he's from Georgia, but he's going to the Chargers. I mean, I guess you can add Jim Harbaugh. Fans wanted him to be the head coach too as well when the Falcons had that interview. So I wouldn't – small Revenge Bowl for the Falcons-Chargers game. Do I see that as a primetime game? Probably not. But, yes, Bud Dupree will be heading to the Chargers, which the Falcons then did sign. Bradley Anon, I have to go – let me pull this information. Where is it? I literally just had it. Terry, thoughts on the Falcons? Hold on a second.
Sorry.
Here. I don't know what's going on. Like, StreamYard is giving me technical difficulties. It's telling me that the stream is not connecting right now at the top of the screen. It keeps saying that it's interfering, that there's interference in the connection. Some bullshit. I don't know.
Well, Cruikshank seems like a special teams player. I don't want to do that.
Here we go. I'm sorry. So, the Falcons did sign 2 players this week. Defensive lineman Bradley and Dane Cruikshank after the tryouts they had this week. Of course, with Bud Dupree not coming back and the Falcons, giving the number up to Trice, I kind of figured, well, Bud Dupree's not going to come back and get his number changed after a 1-year deal. So he's going to go over to the Chargers for that 2-year deal that they gave him. Plus, the money did seem like it was out of what the Falcons were probably going to pay him as well. But they did sign Bradley and they signed Dane. Those that know Bradley know that he does have some experience here in the NFL. Well, both players have experience in the NFL, but people remember Bradley, I think, a little bit more than Dane. And some would say that Bradley may make the roster too as well, as they have another pass rusher, which the pass rusher, that defensive line is looking crazy right now. So somebody ain't making it.
No, that's a fact, sir. That is, as the young folks say, facts. That's somebody's not gonna make it. It's almost looking like Survivor up around there, man. Like they got so much talent. I don't know.
I can tell you right now. Looking at the roster, matter of fact, my boy Scott Karisic, man, he does a good job when it comes to updating the roster with the unofficial depth chart. So, of course, he's already updated that move already. Where your boy at? Come on, Scott. Did you update it, Scott? Scott, you didn't update it, did you? Nope, he did not update it yet. I'm going to go ahead and text him right now and be like, what are you doing? You're behind the ball. Supposed to be updating it. But, yes, the Falcons updating that roster with Bradley and Dane Cruikshank. Now you have Lakel London. Who else you have? Close
Kentavious Street,
Taekwon Graham, Rook Aurora, Zach Harrison, David Amiata, Grady Jarrett, Brandon Dorless, James Smith-Williams, Zion Lowe, Damon Harris, which I don't know will make the roster as well. Eddie Goldman is in there too as well. They're stacked on that D-line right now. You're talking about not enough pass rushers, not enough defensive linemen. Well, the Falcons have that. Terry, cuts will be made. You can see
Oh, without a doubt. That's a legit defensive line, man. That is a legit defensive line. You have a combination of some beef and some speed and some in between. Like you gotta in recent memory, Eric, it looks like this is one of our best defensive lines ever. What is he laughing at anyway? He's laughing.
Eric is laughing at the hill.
I don't know.
He's laughing at the hill.
Because
Lisa Shepard's over here.
But anyway, I'm trying to look up Anai's. Do not wear flip-flops. No, you ain't got to worry about that.
Don't wear flip-flops on the hill.
Not with me.
But Eric Parker definitely shows up wearing flip-flops.
I'm wearing cleats, bro.
You see, now it's showing like StreamYard saying like it's time to buffer the connection. StreamYard, what are you doing?
We
to
may
my
not
stream
have the
right
greatest
now?
connection tonight.
It's StreamYard doing something to connection. But guess what? We still gonna continue because Falcon fans are talking Falcons football. Let's get to it.
Yeah,
Joseph Avery. We are in good hands at the quarterback position for the foreseeable future.
Yes. Yeah, I would say so.
Johnson said, wear some good pair of tennis shoes. I will be sitting next to Larry and Shonda the Dixon way. Well, big shout out to the Dixon way. I know they're going to be out there broadcasting at training camp. Let's see what we got here. Atlanta Falcons fandemic. Golf shoes will be better, T-Will?
You know what? You may be on to something. You may be on to something there. I just don't want to slip, man. I just don't want to slip in front of, I don't know, 5,000 of my closest friends. And,
it's a long hill to slide
be on
down
YouTube,
to as well.
Be on YouTube for the wrong reason. World star, big.
It's gonna be a bad fall and a long slide. I can tell you that because that hill is no joke. But Terry, I think you're back now. The connection seemed to be messing up a couple of seconds ago. Where when I was talking, you were kind of getting interfered with the static or the interference, and then now when you were talking, it was messing me up. But I think you're back now. Are we good?
Good to be back.
We're good. So StreamYard tried to mess us up. The op is trying to mess us up.
The ops, man. You know what it was? We started talking about them with Raheem, and they decided to show us who was boss. But we got something for them because we're going to keep on going, ops. You're not going to stop us. Like the Falcons in 2024, you're not going to stop us.
Definitely will not stop us here on One Time for the Fan as we are here talking Falcons football. Sorry for the interference for those that were watching a couple minutes ago. If anything was messing up on anybody's end. On my end, it kept showing that it was buffering and StreamYard was having some connection interference, which they've had some problems with Facebook recently when you stream to Facebook. But we won't be on StreamYard, I don't think, much longer here. We got to start picking up the steam and start finding something different. But for those in the chat, yes, the Falcons did sign 2 players. Bradley and I is one of them. No Duke Riley comparison. Don't be worried, Falcon fans. Don't be worried. Fans saw him and was like, is that Duke? Did Duke change his name?
Oh, man.
He's been in the league for a while, too, as well, Falcon fans. So you have a guy who's coming over here now, which I wouldn't say he's just familiar with the scheme and so forth, but he's going to try to do his best to make this roster. Which Falcon fans see him as a camp body. They don't see him as somebody who can possibly make the roster, but after tryouts with some of the roster space that we have left before camp starts, he's here, Terry. Do you think this guy can make the roster? Yes or no, Terry?
It's going to be a tough road to hoe, man. Like you said, we already have a stacked defensive line, and I don't see the last PFF stats that Anai had was in 2021, I believe, and he was a 45.2 rating. So, I mean, like you said, could be camp body, could be assurances, could be, but I think that's going to be a tough ask for him to make a roster that's already staffed and saturated with talent. You know, we got Grady, we got David Onyemata, we got Eddie Goldman if he decides to stay. Shout out to Eddie wherever you are, buddy. You know, we got Kentavious Street. We got Rook. We got the new draft picks. We got I don't know, man. I just maybe practice squad, but I don't really foresee him as much more than that. Unless something happens or he is just drastically been misjudged, I don't see it. I don't see it. What say you? What do you think? I don't see it. What say you?
Not being disrespectful when I say camp body.
None at all. None at all.
But then again, he's been in the league for a couple years. He, like you said, his PFF rating is not the greatest, but it's what Raheem and the team see with him that can possibly shape out what could happen here.
Good point.
Right? Because let's just say he does make the 53, right? Then fans are like, well, how the hell did that happen? Who's getting cut for this guy? But we have to see these players try out. I mean, the camp is coming up. We're going to get a lot more information from Raheem, a lot more information from the coaching staff, from Jay Rogers, from Jerry Gray, from Zach Robinson, from Jimmy Lake. We're going to find out, why these players are in the building. right? Why they're going to do the best they can to cut down that 90 to 53, and why there's going to be some players that some fans are going to hate to see go, right? But at the end of the day, we want to win, right?
Yes,
and for
we
this
do.
young man to get a chance to come over here and make a roster here in the NFL, the Falcons see something in him right now, right? So when it gets ready to have that full training camp coming through the summer, then we'll get a chance to see more of what Bradley can do. But for me, I'm going to call it a camp body right now, right? No disrespect to him, but I don't have him on my 53 at the moment right now. I'm not giving up my 53 yet either. But then again, the Falcons are going to make some moves probably in the next coming weeks where they could bring in another guy, right? They still have a little bit of cash left, right? They can sign somebody else too as well that fans would be like, oh, snap, maybe he could be a starter. Maybe he could be a potential week one player. So we'll get a chance to see that. But right now, before the full camp has started, bringing in Bradley shows that they are definitely trying to attack that defensive line the right
Without
way.
a doubt.
We didn't have the right guys apparently in the building last year on depth-wise when players went down. Well, guess what? Raheem said, nah, we finna stack it up this year. So it's good to see that there's competition battles going on outside of your starters. That's the cool thing. Grady and David, they're cool. They're chilling. The rookies, they're cool. They're chilling. Eddie Goldman, right? That competition battle with him, Lakel London, right? James Smith-Williams too as well. Like some of these guys is going to be out there going at it for that depth chart roster spot. It's going to be amazing. Who's going to?
What's that kid we drafted in the 5th round? Big fella from Georgia.
Oh, Zion Logue.
Yeah. I think that's a 3-way competition. Mm-hmm. I think it's Goldman, Loeb, and somebody else you just said that was big as well. I can't think of his name. Lord forgive me. But
Lakel London.
I think for that nose tackle position, you said who?
Lakel London.
Yeah, I think for that nose tackle position, that's going to be some competition, man. I really do. I think it's going to be
Falcons making this type of move. It's not a big splash or anything, so I don't know if fans are going to be like, "Oh yeah, these two moves are going to take it to the Super Bowl." I'm not saying that, but they're definitely looking at their depth chart. They're looking at their roster, and they're saying, "Hey, we need to go ahead and fill in a couple pieces before the big camp starts." So we can see what we got. And of course, the Falcons did go out and they did sign somebody else too as well. Dane, what's his name? Krishnik? I don't want to butcher this kid's name. Dane C. What's up, Dane C?
I hear that. His name is
Dane Cruikshank.
Is it Cruikshank?
Cruikshank?
Cruikshank. You know what? Let's see how it's pronounced.
Dane Crew, who also has some experience playing here in the NFL too as well. Falcons looked at that safety position, and we talked about it the other night, Terry, where one of the roster holes that a journalist had mentioned about the Falcons, and the journalist was looking at the team, and he was saying, oh, wow, cool draft, nice offseason, but that safety spot is something to look at outside of Jesse Bates. He talked about Richie Grant's lack of ability to cover tight ends at times, and of course one-on-one matchups. That's kind of upsetting for Falcon fans to see when Richie's in one-on-ones at times. And then of course they said DeMarco Hellams would be a nice fit next to Jesse, but he also doesn't have that much speed too as well. So you got to watch out for a second-year guy getting into that spot next to Jesse. But here you're looking at Dane Cruikshank, or I don't want to butcher it. I'm sorry. Dane,
it's pronounced Cruikshank.
Dane Cruikshank. Big shout out to Dane, who has some experience here in the NFL. Does he help the safety room? I'm not saying he's going to be the starter or anything, but he's just another guy to look at for training camp. And there's been some players here in the Falcons, franchise that has, made a 53, from having a good training camp, having a good offseason. Right. So we're not going to rule these two guys out. But right now, fans would say that they're camp bodies. Right. Yeah. And they don't see them. Come on. Don't tell me that's a hit. Oh, come on. Braves can't blow this game. But right now they're seeing it as a camp body. Right. And been in the league since 2018. You can see the stats from over here, too, as well. He's not like a day one guy. That's why I think fans will kind of see that he's a camp body. Right, 2018, 12 games played, 10 solo tackles, no interceptions? No, he had no interceptions. 2019, 16 games played, 6 solo tackles, no interceptions. 2020 COVID year, 1 interception. 2021, 14 games played. He did have 30 tackles that year, but some fans would see this guy as like, nah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to be either Jesse Bates and Grant or Jesse Bates and DeMarco Hellams. That's what fans can see.
You know, it's interesting. We don't know what Raheem's motif looks like, right?
Not the motif.
We don't know what the Van Gogh that Terry Fontenot was looking at, right? It's I equated to, you've got this 1,000-piece puzzle, and there's this one piece in the left corner, and maybe it's not the most attractive piece, but it causes everything else to fit in. Or another way of saying it, those of you basketball fans who go back some years,
oh shit,
Chris, what's Chris' last name? Well, part of the Fab Five. Chris, what's his last name?
Chris Webber.
Chris Webber was talking about his time with the Kings and how they were at a pivotal, I guess, point in their history. And they wanted to trade to make the team better. And they traded Doug Christie. And what they didn't realize about Doug Christie was Doug Christie's impact on the locker room. And how he kept the fellas together, how he kept it light, how he was a mentor and a father figure to some of the guys, and he kept it going. And when they traded him, the result was not what they wanted. They played worse than before they traded him. So sometimes you can look at a piece like that, like you don't know, to your point, Jack, you don't know what values or what attributes that this person has.
I didn't want to put that up while you was talking. I knew you were going to raise talking laugh because Eric can make you laugh.
Whatever, Eric. I'm gonna fall and slide down and cause you to fall with me. How about that? Anyway, you made me forget what I'm saying. Anyway, but no, I mean we don't know what they see, right?
Yeah.
So they could have this intrinsic value that we're not aware of that these guys can see, right? It's like a pair of shoes that you buy that, you know, to the outside world, like, oh, why'd you buy them? But then you put them with the outfit that you bought and you're like, oh, I see it. I see what you were thinking now. Okay, looks good. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. I agree with you. I think the probability of making them making the roster is not very high. I just think specifically on the defensive line, safety, maybe you got a shot. You know, maybe you have a dynamic camp and we can put you on special teams and you add some value. But defensive line, that's a tough one.
Yeah, just didn't move the needle for me this week. Then again, it's the Falcons organization. And, you know, big shout out to these players getting a chance to have an opportunity to make the team. If they do, hey, you know, in the beginning we were wrong, but this is what fans are seeing right now. And this is what we just got to talk about here on One Time for the Fan. Uncle Steve was in the chat too as well during the whole interference thing, but I'm glad he's still here. Uncle Steve said, man, that interference is probably those solar storms. Was messing with my stream today as well.
Steve.
Great stream, fellas. Great to see Uncle Steve lounge in the chat too
Uncle
as well.
Steve
Chase Griner is in
Steve
the chat.
Is hilarious. If you've never seen it, he's hilarious.
Who, Uncle Steve? Oh, Uncle Steve got some content over there now. So you got a lot of content creators that's here in the chat too as well. Big shout out to all the content creators. Please support each other. Get out here and represent the Falcons fan base the right way, right? We want to go out there and win. And when we win, what are we going to do? We're going to celebrate and party together, right? Chase Grinders in the chat said, yeah, hope Vegas is early in the season. As a diehard Falcon fan who travels to a lot of the games, they normally put the West Coast games together. So I've seen it where, you know, it was, of course, the Seattle LA game was what, week 2, week 3. So it's like that September time. Then, of course, I think in the past when we played Denver a long time ago, it was around that October time. Oh, come on, check swing. Why'd you check swing? It was around October time to where we had the 2 back-to-back West Coast games. But be prepared for those West Coast games to be back-to-back too as well. But if you want to travel, you want to party, you want to have a good time, man,
Rise
on
Up
some
Tour.
great events. I'm telling y'all, wait till you see Wednesday's show with the Rise Up Tour podcast. It's going to be great. Mr. CDX for Life said, what up, One Time for the Fan? Checking in from PA somewhere.
CDX, what's going on? Hey, Jack, why? So, question for you. Why would it be more advantageous to go to Vegas earlier in the season than later? Is there a reason for that?
I think for the NFL schedule, they just like putting the teams like early in the season on the West Coast. That's what I've just been noticing the NFL do. And Falcons, I can't remember them having any December games going into January. We had to travel far. Like I just don't see that. And then of course, outside of Denver and Vegas, every other game is like pretty much right there on the line. I mean, Minnesota's up there. You got Washington, you got Philly, you got Carolina, you got the Saints, you got the Bucks. Yeah. The only 2 games away really is, Minnesota is not that far really by plane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you're driving out there, I mean, it's a good little drive. But Denver and Vegas is the top. The top 2. I think next year we go back to Arizona, though. We go back to Arizona and San Fran next year.
Yeah. I wonder if the thinking is, in case there's, an act of God, some sort of inclement weather, and the game has to be made up, it's easier to do that if you try it in the earlier part of the year rather than if you do it week 16 and now you got to play another team the week after that, and it's kind of hard to make up. It's
possible the NFL could look at that. I mean, I haven't spoke to the scheduling committee. I mean, it would be great if we knew somebody from the scheduling committee who can tell us about it, or we can find out why. But I do see the Falcons kind of like the winter game. The Falcons is a dome team, right? We play inside the bins. I see us like I've seen us for years. They're going to give us a winter game. They're going to give us a game outside, outdoors, and some cold, frigid weather because we're a dome team in the South,
right?
And we don't like to play outdoors. So we've had that Buffalo game late in the year. Why didn't you give us Buffalo week 1? Why didn't you give us Buffalo in January for all times? And then they gave us Chicago for New Year's last year. That was a cold game too as well. The Jets a couple weeks before that game was a rainy game in December. It wasn't warm, And then this year we have Philly outdoors, right? We have Washington outdoors and even Carolina outdoors. They've put Carolina kind of late in the schedule sometimes, November, December, playing outdoors over there, which for fans that's been out there in Carolina, it does get a little cold out there at that time too as well. Not saying it's like, like Chicago or Green Bay around that time, but I can see that the NFL scheduling committee probably does that to us. If they send us to Vegas and Denver around December, that's just, I don't know. That's weird. I don't, that's random if they give us West Coast games out there in December. But then again, I'm going to be there. It doesn't matter. But shout out to William, Amy in the chat, Mr. CDX in the chat, Chase is in the chat, Uncle Steve's in the chat, Mateo, Carrie, Eric Parker, Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, Lisa Shepard is in the chat, Joseph Avery, Auntie Pam is in the chat, April Thomas is in the chat, Deloach is in the chat. Big shout out to Deloach in the chat. What's going on, D? Big shout out to Deloach is in the chat. Ben Wade Markham is in the chat too as well. Josh is in the chat. What's up, Josh G? Good to see you in the chat too as well. Smitty is here in the chat. Big shout out to all the content creators that's down here in the chat talking Falcons football. We love to see you all. Michael's also in the chat too as well.
Michael,
of course, DFU's own, one time for the fans' own. Chase Cravey is in the chat.
Chase, what's up, man? What's up, Chase? How you doing?
Big shout out to Chase in the chat. Michael said Nye is coming for somebody's job. Now, this is good when you talk to fans in the chat because everybody's opinions matter, right? Michael said he's coming for somebody's job. Is he going to be a guy to possibly change this roster, to make the 53, take somebody's job, which in the NFL, I mean, that's the business of the NFL. Like, if you're not doing your job, somebody else will come take it. But
that
Michael,
is a bold statement.
You got some Falcons players that's looking at Bradley walk in and saying, he coming to take my job? That means you got to fight harder. So I'd love to see the fight, what's going to happen between all these players this camp, because there's a couple guys. Oh, he took off. He went for it. Is that to the house? Are we out? Oh, come on.
It's a double.
Oh, man.
It's a double.
That could have been a 2-run.
Oh, no. Michael said, bet it all on black. Like Wesley Snipes and Passive, bet it all on black.
I know.
That's a bold statement, man. That's a you don't have. I don't think you have any also rans on that defensive line. So to come in there and displace somebody,
you got to be balling your ass off right now.
Yeah.
But big shout out to everybody in the chat.
Pam say? Can you go back to
Pam said Richie is in contract year. Oh, good hit. We bringing one in? We're bringing one in. Round him in.
Yeah,
Round him in.
He's
Oh,
safe. He's safe. 3-2 Braves, top of the 8th. For those of you baseball fans out there,
let's go. I got like one more topic too. We might be able to finish this podcast as the Braves round up this win. Are you good for that, Terry?
Good for it, man. Kirk Cousins got medically cleared.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a second here. I know everybody's excited because they're not only get him out of there. Yeah, get him out of there. Love to see when the other manager walks out there to the mound with his head down. These goddamn Braves, boy, there's something else.
Jack, when you go to baseball games, are you singing like he can't hit it, he's no good? Is that you?
I mean, I'm not. I'm a different fan at Braves games, right? Okay. I'm more relaxed. I'm calm. Of course, big home run, grand slam, base hit. We stand up, we cheer, we clap. We turn up. But it's not like I'm at Falcons games when I go like to the Falcons Saints or I go like to Falcons, at the Benz. Like I just turn up. You know what I'm saying? I probably drink a little bit more at the Falcons games too as well. Braves, I'm just cool. Now the Hawks, I'm relaxed. Like I'm just chill because it's basketball, right? So I'm sitting in the concert club or I'm sitting, I don't know where I'm fucking sitting, but I'm always I have a little drink with me and I'm just relaxing. I'm chilling, but I'm not jumping up going as a wild fan like I am for the Falcons. Like when the Falcons play, and I think the Georgia Bulldogs is a different story too as well. I go crazy when the Dogs play, especially when the Dogs go Dogs. Now when the Dogs are out there, it's a different story, man. Yeah. Touchdown, interception, pick, sack, turnover on downs. Anytime that CBS just comes back from commercial, it's like, oh, time for them dogs again. And of course, our back-to-back years, I was having a great time because nobody can say shit to you for two.
That's right. Hey, you the best in the world. Let me tell you something. Man. The most fun person to sit with is my little brother Eric Parker. That dude. Let me tell you something. If it doesn't work out, he really could be a stand-up comedian. Like So just to give you an example, we were at the Tampa Bay game last year. Was it the last year? No, it was the year before last. So 2022 season, Falcons played Tampa Bay in the Benz. We're at the game. And he's going back and forth with this fan. And he looks at this guy. And I guess they put the backup in at this point. And he was like, hey, man, if y'all take out great value Tom Brady, y'all might be all right. But the way he said it, like my brother has his loud voice. The way he said it, that entire section was just they were in tears, man. Like I can't look. I'm not a comedian. I can't imitate my brother. But my brother at a football game is probably one of the most fun people to be around. Now he's very engaging, okay? And hey, you get what you get, but he again at a ball game, he is hilarious. And if you mess around, if you're from the other team and you say something, he's going to get on you. Now he's not mean. He's not going to curse or whatever. But his comeback game is, if he were a Madden player, it'd be like 99, man. Like
Eric knows how to joke on fans in a way where you can get upset, right? Or if you're not upset, then you're just gonna laugh your ass off.
Right.
I mean, that's the cool thing about hanging with Eric because he would give fans the best of both worlds. Like fans would say, "Is he serious?" And he might turn around and be like, "No, he's cool. He's cool."
Yeah.
I sat over there one time with Eric in that section. I think he's in 102, 101, but that section has some diehard Atlanta Falcon fans.
Oh yeah, Mario
in that section.
Yeah.
So shout out to Eric Parker's section. I think Eric, which was section? Is it 102, 101? Man, that section right there.
Yeah,
there's some diehards over there. So you best believe if you're an away fan and you're watching this podcast, don't go over there 101 talking shit. Yeah, you're gonna run into an Eric Parker. You're gonna run into a DeMario Scott. You're gonna run into who else is over there? April Showers, I believe, is over there too as well in that area. Fan of the year. And of course they have some more diehards too as well. That's in that section. Chase is in the chat with Much Love Brothers.
What up, Chase? What's going on? Hey, man, when my brother said that, man, like I probably damn near lost the beer I had, because I wasn't expecting that. It came out of the blue, and like all my lunch just like it's miraculous I didn't spill it, but my brother's fun. My brother is a good time at any event, but especially a football game.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Diane Day Markham is in the chat. Rise Up Tour Fan Club is in the chat. Not only are the membership kits going out shortly for Rise Up Tour members, but Diane also has a gift that's going to be heading her way shortly too as well. Remember, she won the one time for the fan giveaway.
He did.
Man, it is going down in a major way when your boy from Nike finally returns back to work. But yeah, it's going down. So Diane Day Markham has a gift on the way to her shortly. So big shout. What happened? Okay, we got another one's on. Okay, good. But yes, Diane Day Markham, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, Rise Up Tour fan club member too as well. And of course, you saw her husband Ben, who was in the chat earlier too as well. And Ben, he's amazing, man. When it comes to being a fan, you meet fans on the road, Terry. You meet fans at home games, and of course, all over the city. But when you travel with these fans, right, and you get to see them from city to city, it's an amazing experience, man, because these are the fans that you've been rocking out with for a long time, right? You go to these away games, you may win, and you go out and you party after. You may lose, and you go out and you party after. But at the end of the day, we got to get on a flight back home to Atlanta because we got stuff to do the following day, right? We got to get back to reality. But when it comes to traveling, you can count on Diane and Ben and Auntie Pam too as well, and of course Jabri Harper. A lot of these fans, they pack and they go, man. They pack their bags and they hit the road. So big shout out to all these fans that's here in the chat. Eric Parker says Section 101 is in the chat.
He also said he would be wearing slides. Eric, I swear to God, if you laugh, if you fall, Eric, I swear to God, if you fall, brother, I love you. I'm going to clown the shit out of you. I'm just letting you. I'm saying it right now. And I'm going to do that because you clown me all the time, especially that drive-through bullshit. So if you fall on that hill, Eric, I love you. I'm going to clown the shit out of you. And I know you meme game. I know, but I'm going to do it. I'm just letting you know, Eric. I'm going to do it. It's my duty as your big brother to clown you when at all possible. And if you put your 6'2" behind out there on that hill and you slip and fall, brother, you get what you deserve because I'm going to clown you. Still love you, but I'm going to clown you. Okay, Miss Pam says she in 314. Represent. I see
Falcon fans in the chat, season ticket holders in the chat, drop your sections in the chat, right? I know payments, May 1st? That was a couple days ago. So I know they took your May payment. So you got a couple. We got June coming up. You got July coming up. So for fans in the chat, be prepared because you got a couple more payments of them season ticket holder payments coming up. But drop your section in the chat. All my season ticket holders, if you're watching, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. But drop the section in the chat that you're repping at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You hear Pam Johnson said 314 is the best section. She said represented for the diehard fan base, best seat in the house. Come on, Braves. You can't have two on and get out, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
You took the lead, though, so you can end this game like this.
You did. We got the bottom of the 8th coming up. You did.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll get it back. Falcon fans are in the chat. Lisa Shepard said 134 is in the chat. Section 134 is live and lit. Is that Dirty Bird Nest section, Lisa Shepard? 134? I think 134 is the Nest section. That section is live.
Is that where what's his name is all the time? The rapper, what's his name?
Pastor Troy?
Yeah. Is that where he is all the time?
I believe he's over there. I believe that's 134, and then Big Tigger's over there too as well in that area. Big shout out to the Nest. Diane Day Markham said 106 is in the chat. Section 106 is in the chat. Here comes the 100. Here comes the 100 level members now. Falcon fans. Pam Johnson 300 levels in the chat. Four-star Falcon said I'm in section Sofa 01. Couch gang repping. Shit. Not Sofa 01.
I love it. Man, you see my brother said, he said I always wear slides.
He always wears slides. Eric Parker is he's a diehard Falcon fan. So when it comes to how he shows up to camp, I've had fans come up and say, "Yo, is he wearing slides?" Like he's wearing slides. He's a diehard Falcon fan. He can do it if he wants to do. He's wearing slides.
Yes, he can. But if he falls,
Pamela Johnson said,
"Know that
134 is the Dirty Bird Nest."
Okay.
Big shout out to everybody in the Dirty Bird Nest. Lisa Shepard said, yes, sir. That's the nest. Big Tigger and Pastor Troy rock with us every game. Big shout out to Lisa Shepard over there in the nest. You know, Lisa Shepard was on the podcast the other day talking Falcons football with us.
Blogging Dirty.
Blogging Dirty too as well. You know, we've had Scott Karisic from Blogging Dirty. Big shout out to everybody over there at Blogging Dirty because we've had, you know, 2 of their contributors on already, and we want to make sure we get some more on too as well. Yep. He said, Lisa Shepard said, Big Tigger, not Big Tigger. LOL. Sheesh. Big Tigger. That boy Eric Parker said, that's my hill.
My hill. Until you fall. Yeah. Until you fall, it's your hill, buddy.
So we've had some stream interference tonight. The op tried to get us. Right. First, we started out talking about the ops with Raheem not letting the ops know about any of the rookie information. Right. He wants to see the rookies first, and then he'll let people know how they are, which I'm sure Raheem has his notes right there next to him about every player, but he's not going to share it. And then the ops heard about what we were talking about, and they tried to attack the stream. Right. They tried to attack the stream. There was some interference going on. So we apologize about that. But, you know, one time for the fan, we don't like that interference stuff. So, of course, we got right back to it, continued the show. We're still here talking Falcons football. Braves are going into the bottom of the 8th here. And we're not like the Dixon way. Big shout out to the Dixon way. Here comes your first out now. Here comes your first out. Big pop-up. We're not like the Dixon way, right? We don't do the Braves podcast where, you know, we're watching it and we're talking about it. But because we started the show late, we have 2 more topics to talk about. We're going to continue the show up until the Braves smack the Mets because this is a sweep, right? But for fans that want Braves and Falcons content, Hawks content too as well, head over to the Dixon way. The Dixon way talks Braves all damn day, right? So I'm sure he's probably streaming it right now. There's probably going to be a Dixon way raid joining the chat in a matter of minutes because they're over there watching Larry's channel over there with the Dixon way, Larry and Shonda too as well. So big shout out to the Dixon way. And if you're watching both streams, tell Larry we said what's up. Look, say hey, what's up, Larry? What's up, bro? I know they're doing great things over there with that channel. But for Falcon fans in the chat, there was some other big news.
He also talks Marvel.
He talks everything. You know,
he also talks
X-Men.
He also talks Marvel. Yeah,
I'm sure he's a gamer. I mean, he probably talks spades. Yeah. You know, he probably is a food enthusiast too as well. Probably you can talk anything. Larry has a channel is full of everything. Right?
Master A. He's a pun intended. He's a jack of all trades.
He sure is. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let's continue the show here. And bring your questions and comments to the chat, right? So we can talk Falcons football with you all. Terry, something else happened this week that I think Falcon fans are excited about, but then some fans are not too excited about. And that information that we're going to share here with you all is that Kirk Cousins has passed every medical test as the on-field work begins, reported from Ian Rappaport. And there are fans who are very upset with this because they have been telling fans that it's Michael Penix who's going to be starting week 1. And that's the reason why the Falcons went to go get Michael Penix because Kirk Cousins will not be available week 1.
I want to be right. I'm a cut my nose off to spite my face.
It happens in every NFL fan base. But here at One Time for the Fan, you know, we love talking about the Atlanta Falcons because that's all we love to do is pretty much talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Raheem has said it. Terry has said it. Kirk is the quarterback now, and Michael Penix is the quarterback later. Come on, get him out. Get him out. And that's another one. All right. 2 up, 2 down. Terry, Raheem said it. Terry has said it. Kirk is the quarterback now. Michael Penix is the quarterback for the future. Of course, if something happens to Kirk, Penix will be ready to go. We don't want nothing to happen to Kirk.
Knock on wood.
We want Kirk to live well here in Atlanta, have a great career here in Atlanta. Hell, bring us a Super Bowl, get us back to the playoffs, help us get back what we need, right, in Atlanta, right? That winning feeling. And I think Kirk can get that here in Atlanta because we definitely have a team around Kirk that is set up for success. So, Terry, to the fans that want Penix to start week 1, the ones that's mad at us getting Kirk Cousins. What is your thoughts on that? And plus, Raheem and Terry saying that Kirk is the guy now and Michael's the guy later.
Well, I guess my thoughts are winning cures everything. So, hey, I'm not going to tell anyone how to feel. You like your favorite player, and that's okay. For me, it's about the name on the front. I think for now, Kirk Cousins is the most experienced starter on the Falcons squad. He's had the most success. He throws for 4,500 yards on average, and I think he should be the starter. I think he gives you the best chance to win, and I don't think anybody would argue that. Hey, good to have a good backup, right? But I think
to have a good backup.
Yeah. I think once the season starts and we start to experience success and we start to win games, all of that will, die down. Let's be honest, it's the off season and people get in their bag for whatever reason and they can feel how they want to feel. The bottom line is once that first kickoff has occurred, it's going to be real and it's going to matter. And I think once that happens, Kirk will be in there, and I think Kirk is going to win a lot of games. So I don't think it's a big issue, because like I say, winning cures everything. The A's of the 70s, the Oakland Athletics, our baseball team of the 70s, hated each other. And they won three championships. Now, they are an outlier. Most teams, if you're going to win together, you at least need to like the guy next to you. But it's not required. So my point is, look, hey, man, like who you want to like. If you don't like Kirk, that's fine. But we're trying to win. And I think Kirk gives us the best chance to win right now. And tranquilo, relax. Wait your turn. Michael will be here in about 2 years, and he'll be fine. And look, what if Kirk gets us a Super Bowl and Michael gets us a Super Bowl as well? I think that'd be the most
Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers moment, wasn't it?
There you go. I think that's the most optimal situation. So, I'm fine with it, Jack. People have the right to feel how they feel. I'm okay with it. That doesn't make them right. And we'll see. We'll see. Either way, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited about it. I think we have a great offense. I think we have a great defensive line. I think we have a great coach. I think we're going to have a great team. I think we're going to win a lot of games.
Auntie Pam.
We'll see.
Auntie Pam is right. They just want to create some quarterback controversy within the group because they know that this team who hasn't won a Super Bowl, this team that has a fan base that is going to get, they're going to get sneak dissed by every other team in the NFL because of us selecting a quarterback, right? But they're forgetting to mention why they do their report on us that other teams tried to trade up for Michael Penix, right? And that the Falcons needed to secure a quarterback for now and one for later. And there are a lot of fans and, of course, a lot of staff in the NFL, the Falcons organization, that is comfortable with that pick. And that's the move that they wanted to do. And because it's the move that they wanted to do, for the fans that want Penix to start week 1, I don't know if they're waiting on Kirk's downfall. I don't know if they're waiting on an injury to happen with Kirk. But I'm off what the Falcons are doing by having Kirk out there as the starter and Penix out there as the backup. We now have probably the best starter backup quarterback in the league.
We do.
Outside of, people say, no, don't forget about Pat Mahomes. Well, I don't care about the Chiefs.
Right.
Looking at the NFC South, look at what we have here. If Baker Mayfield goes down, who's the backup for Baker Mayfield? Right? Is the Saints really going to rely on Spencer Rattler down there with Derek Carr after Derek Carr? Right? Like, look at Bryce Young. Bryce Young is damn near a backup himself, right? Just playing starter.
Or on his way to being one. If he keeps losing.
It's pretty bad out there in Carolina. I'd love for them to sell the team first before they mess up Bryce's career. But then again, I'm not a Carolina Panther fan. But for the Falcons right now, if you're looking at the team, to have Kirk Cousins, of course, still with some years left to go, and then to have a rookie like Michael Penix behind you, who most rated him as the number 2 quarterback in this draft.
Yes.
That's good to have, that you're focusing on your future. I love to talk about the future here. Because, we had the Rise Up Tour podcast earlier, and we talked about the future of the fan club. But the future of the Falcons is did he hit him? Did he hit him?
I think he did.
He hit him. He hit Acuna?
I think he did hit him.
I know he didn't hit Acuna. Bro.
He hit him. I think he did 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 him No, he
You chipped
didn't.
him?
No, he
What
just
Acuna
knocked
do?
him down.
Acuna selling? Oh, come on.
He
Acuna.
just knocked him down.
Yeah, sell better than that.
No, he didn't hit him.
No, he went high though. Oh no, he went close.
Yeah.
Look at the hand from the catcher. Now he was up there by the
Yeah.
damn face.
And this guy throws about 100 miles an hour. So
He's doing. I mean, of course, you know the rivalry too as well.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
gotta watch out for that. Acuna. But we're diehard
you know what?
Braves fans too.
Jack, I got to be honest, man. You ever seen that movie? It's a Stephen King movie. Where the devil comes to town and start playing all the folks against each other. Is it Castle Rock? It might be Castle Rock. What's up, Mactown Dirty? Anyway, you know, it's a Stephen King film, but the devil comes to town and he starts whispering this person's ear. Oh, this person stole your pie. And he just instigates so much stuff. And at the end of the movie, everybody hates each other until they figure out it's him and they kick him out of town. I look at a lot of these news pundits as doing that because they're not doing it because they legitimately care about our franchise. Guys, kill the narrative, right? Kill the narrative. Look, you can feel how you want to feel. You can. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. But ultimately, when it comes to support, we need to be unified. We need to be together. Guys, we're trying to experience a Super Bowl. We're trying to experience winning, and that's only going to happen, right, as a fan base if we are together. The energy that we bring, right, to training camp, the energy that we bring to the Benz when they play, the energy that we just put out there, that we exude, we got to be together. One band, one sound, one band, one sound. So, look, I mean, hey, man, feel how you want to feel. You know what I mean? I think Penix is definitely going to be a superstar. I mean, hey, I can admit I didn't want, other than that Michigan game, I didn't watch that much of his career. Now looking back on it and seeing all the highlights and everything that he's done, the kid's pretty dynamic. I mean, he's set to be a superstar. But Steve Young had to sit under Joe Montana for a little while too. It's not going to hurt him. If anything, it's going to be good for him. You know, he can heal up. Like you say, he's had 2 ACL injuries. He's had some shoulder injuries. Let him sit for 2 years. Let him learn the game. Let him learn what it's about. Let him learn our offense. Let him learn, how to lead. And when it's time for him to take over, he will take over. It's a good problem to have. I would rather have a really good quarterback and a really good backup quarterback than, let me put it this way, what we had the previous 2 seasons. I'll put it that way. Yes. I'm not going to use names, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's a good problem to have. It's not negative. Guys, my daddy used to tell me some guys or let me not be misogynistic, some people, male or female, can take let's call it a Ford Escort and make it look like a Lexus. But some people can take a Lexus, and no disrespect to anybody driving it, and make it look like a Ford Escort. In other words, take care of what you have. Take care of your team. Don't let dissension come in the ranks. Look, we're already going to be beat up by the rest of America. They're going to continue to do this. They don't need it from us, right? You're doing their work for them. You're being led around like sheep to a trough of poison. You got this Pied Piper on these networks, and all they're being told is talk about it again. There's nothing authentic about it. They don't care. It sells tickets, literally. It sells advertising. And you guys, those of you who do, you're taking it and digesting it and lapping them up and believing it. And the facts point to the opposite of what they say. And I know we continue to talk about it, but the bottom line is $45 million. I'm doing this for emphasis, people. $45 million is the going rate for a decent quarterback. Dak is going to get 60 from somebody somewhere next year or whenever he has to re-up year after that. He's going to get 60. Kirk got 45, right? So to all you people who are like, oh, we're paying him $100 million. Exactly. That's the going rate for a quarterback. Exactly. You know what I mean? This ain't 1965, people. It's 2024, right? You got Michael Penix, who is, by most people's standard, the second best quarterback on that draft board. You got him at pick number 8. That's a win. You've got him at pick number 8. You're not paying Kirk Cousins $80 million. If we were paying Kirk Cousins $80 million, I'd be right with you. That's great. We're not. We're paying him $15 million under what the next contract is going to be. That's number 2. And number 3, we address the defensive line, people. A Super Bowl team does not one pick make unless it's Jesus. It's not going to make it. So even if you didn't get Latu, even if you didn't get Turner, if you didn't get Verse, you got 4 defensive linemen in the draft.
Yes.
4. 3 of them look to be really great. The others are big old hoss. What are we complaining about? The final point. Kirk Cousins is 36. I love him. I love him. I love him coming off an Achilles injury. But God forbid something happen. You have a great backup. I don't see what the problem is.
No disrespect to Taylor Heineke too as well, but fans would have been upset if Heineke would have had to get back in there after Kirk Cousins.
If this were done by 5 other franchises, I can think of 5 other franchises, right? There would be nothing said about it.
Nope. It would have been a perfect fit for this team.
Right. But because it's the Falcons and it sells, people, and at a certain point, we have to stop doing damage to ourselves. Yes, we lost 28-3. It's nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. But guess what? The Boston Red Sox went 100 years without winning a championship. You think they didn't get ridiculed?
Mm-hmm.
You think they didn't get second guessed?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they still sell out tickets. Why? Because they were passionate about their team. Because it's not about winning a championship. It's about winning a championship with your team. It's about the struggle. It's about the adversity. That's what makes it so good. If I can go and get surgery and lose weight, that's great. But if I got to sweat for it and fret for it and fight for it, when I finally do lose those 60 pounds that I need, I'm going to appreciate it so much more. And all I'm saying, people, is stop drinking at the trough of the national media. You are doing their bidding for them. You're being used. Don't do that.
It's spitting facts.
Love your Falcons enough. Love your Falcons enough to do your own research. You don't have to take my word for it. Look it up. Look it up. It's there. This is a good team. This is a good GM. This is a good owner. This is a good coach. And we might just shock the world this year. We may not.
I don't think there's a might. I mean, there's a couple shocks when you talk about shock the world. Like, it's not about just for some, you have to go out there and just win the Super Bowl, but having, that winning record about outrunning the South that Raheem mentioned, right? Being so far ahead in the division where the Saints can't catch you, the Bucks can't catch you, the Panthers can't catch you, when in the past couple of years we just been down to the wire. That's a shocking feeling for most fans outside of the Falcons community, because they're going to say, damn, the Falcons just ran away with that division. Yeah, we outran the South. Is what Raheem's been talking about, right? They talked about when the Rams went to the Super Bowl that year. Raheem said they knew the feeling that they was going to win it, right? Like, I want that feeling for Atlanta.
Yes.
I want that feeling knowing that Kurt is in a position where he knows,
yes,
like he said at the Masters when he was talking with the people from the PGA Tour.
Yes.
He said at the Masters, I need this team. This team needs to be as good as the 49ers.
Yes.
Because that might be the team you have to beat down the road to make it into the Super Bowl, because they've been so consistent of making it to the NFC Championship game, into the divisional playoff game. So I think the Packers are thinking like that too. Come on, Braves, what are you doing? All right, so they got one at the top of the second. I think the Packers are thinking like that too. I think the Texans are thinking like that too. Like, they're thinking like, we can be a team that other teams have to fear.
Mm-hmm.
And for Kirk Cousins, who hasn't even thrown a ball in the regular season yet here in Atlanta, is already trying to think about the team being as good as the 49ers.
Yes.
Which some would say, Jack, 49ers ain't win no Super Bowl recently. Yeah, but they've been to the playoffs damn near consecutively every year.
They've been to the NFC Championship on a regular basis. They've been at least 2 Super Bowls. They are a perennial playoff team.
Notice Kurt didn't say we need to be as good as the Carolina Panthers.
Correct.
They suck.
Right.
Nobody's thinking about we need to be as good as the Panthers.
Correct.
We need to be as good as the team who is competing to go and win. Remember Larry the Dixon Way was on here and he said what? They gave us up to the Cowboys. If we was to make it to the playoffs, we'll get to the Cowboys and get beat.
Right.
What?
Right.
If we make it to the playoffs, man, I'm going way past the Cowboys. I ain't worried about the goddamn Cowboys. If we make it to the playoffs.
You make it to the playoffs, anything can happen, Jack.
Some would say the Eagles.
Anything can happen.
Terry, some would say the Eagles is the team to watch for. So fans would say, hey, man, we got to be as good defensively like the Eagles. We got to be as good offensively like the 49ers. These teams are scoring. These teams are winning games. So Kirk has that mindset. Raheem has that mindset. Terry has that mindset. Me as that fan, I have that mindset too as well. So I'm not even worried about, of course, this whole outrun the South thing. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to beat up on teams bad this year. I think we're going to, like Philip Sapp said from DFU, it's going to be a couple 35-10s in the bends.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right, Philip.
That's right. 35-10s in the bends.
That's right.
Hey, it goes again. A couple 35-10s in the bend. Don't let the score be 35-10 either. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, Lord. We have to shout out Philip directly.
We'll have to bring DFU on the podcast for a pop-up show that day.
Jack, I wasn't a star athlete by any sense of the word, but I did play recreationally as a young adult, and I'm proud to say that it's in flag football and in softball. And again, I go, guys, I know this isn't professional, but I won 5 championships. And the one thing in common that I can say on every team that I was a part of, we were tight. Number one. Number 2, everybody knew their role. Number 3, it wasn't about the outside. It wasn't about the outside. It was about what was in that dugout or what was on that sideline. And nothing else mattered. Nothing else matters. Guys, I'm telling you, we are close. We are closer than you realize. And guys, we just got to win it one time. I love it, Thomas. I love it. We just got to win it one time. Because guess what? If we win it one time, everything else before, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Guess what? Nobody brings up, well, with the exception of me, nobody brings up the Super Bowls that Denver lost because they've won 3 since then, right? They're totally different franchise. Guys, that can be us. The Red Sox.
Oh, my God.
Oh, did we just lose?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we just lost. Oh, well, we took the series. It happens. Guys, I think Boston has won 4 world championships since that one that they won in 2004, right? Again, think about it. They hadn't won we hadn't won one in 50 years. They hadn't won one in 100. When you don't win for a while, there are certain viruses that infect the thought process. Oh, we're cursed. You ever heard of that one? We're cursed. We're the Falcons.
They still say it right now with the Benz. They say the Benz is cursed with the Falcons.
Right. We can't win. These are things that people give a license to when they don't have an explanation as to why you're not winning. And guys, sometimes, hey man, sometimes stuff happens. Life be lifing. Yeah. As my brother often says, life be lifing. Look, sometimes things happen. But the bottom line is you just got to win one. The Red Sox went to the World Series in '86. And they lost to the Mets on an error by the first baseman. And of course, everything was the curse. The Red Sox would have won the championship had they done that. Well, the Falcons lost 28-3, right? And that 2004 team that won the world championship, they came together. There's not a group of people that could have been more different. They came together. Right. And what I'm telling you is, as a fan base, we need to come together. Look, you like Penix, I like Kirk, fine. But for those 60 minutes on that field, we cheering for the same team. Whether it's Kirk in there, whether it's Penix in there, we're cheering for the same team. And we're not embracing negativity and we're not thinking about, we're cheering. Now, after the game, you want to go have a beer, talk trash about it, do your thing. But we got to come together. We got to come together.
Falcon fans, when it comes to, not only just being at the Benz and creating that hostile environment.
Yes.
Right. And it takes everybody. Eric Parker talked about this when he was on the show. I think it was last year I think it was last year. Eric Parker said he was standing up, yelling and cheering at a game. and there was a Falcon fan behind him telling him to sit down as he's cheering for his team.
And it was third down and something, wasn't it?
And it was like third down or something. But Eric Parker turns around like, you're supposed to be up with me.
Right.
We're supposed to do this together. This is how it works.
Right.
This is, matter of fact, you don't even got to sit down. You can stand up the whole game, just like me. Because I'm a diehard fan. I've been on the road as a Falcon fan. I've seen other stadiums where you would think you were at a damn soccer game when you're watching some of these fan bases that stand up all game, and nobody from the security staff, nobody from the police officer, nobody comes by and says, hey, you guys have to sit down. Nobody says nothing. They just let fans be fans. I saw it in Minnesota. I saw it in Cincinnati. I saw it in Seattle. I saw it in even some parts of that Rams game too as well when we played a couple years ago. But then again, I see it a lot in New Orleans. Like when you look up in like that 300-400 section, like them fans are rowdy. Like they're up there lit. You feel what I'm saying? So for fans that are ready to travel, for fans that are ready to be a part of something special, what you want to do is join the Rise Up Tour fan club. And we're getting ready to end the podcast here shortly. So for those that's been with us for the past hour and 45 minutes, we do thank you all, because it's great to talk Falcons football with everybody. We ain't gonna let the ops stop us.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
They tried to hack the StreamYard tonight. Don't know what they did with the interference, but guess what? It didn't stop the StreamYard. But there are fans who are in this chat tonight. And you're going to hear our next podcast, which is on Wednesday. You want to write it down for me, MJ? You can write it down for me. Just write it down. So there are fans who are in the chat tonight who are talking about, man, we can't wait for Wednesday. And why can't you wait for Wednesday? Because you're talking about you're going on the road, you're going to the home games, you're going to this game, you're going all these places, right? And there are some fans in the chat that can't wait to travel. For those that know what the Rise Up Tour fan club does, we don't play about putting on these events on the road for Falcon fans. And as you can see from this schedule, Terry, we have some good home games, and we have some good away games too as well.
Yes, we do.
Right? So
Revenge Tour.
The Revenge Tour is out here. Really, the Redemption Tour. But the Revenge Tour is here. But the Saints, the Panthers, the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Steelers, and the Seahawks are at home this year. So you're going to have a lot of fan bases going to pack out the stadium, right? Giants have a big fan base. Back-to-back champs is up there too as well. The Steelers have a big fan base. The Cowboys, the Chargers, I mean, somewhat the Chargers, but the Cowboys. And, of course, we hate those Saints. You go on the road, New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa, Philly. That's going to be a tough game. Broncos, Raiders, Vikings, and Washington too as well. There are fans that can't wait for these games. And Wednesday, we have a Rise Up Tour fan club podcast where we'll be talking to members who love to travel to away games. Because, of course, for those that do not know, we did start something a couple years ago that's just amazing. And it's called the Rise Up Tour fan club. But a lot of these teams, like when you see the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Giants, even the Seahawks, a lot of them are a part of fan clubs that you do not know. You're going to see the Steelers fans walking there like, God, they deep as hell. Chargers, Chiefs, they're going to be like, man, they deep as hell. Who sold them all these tickets? Obviously, the Falcon fans did. But we got to stop that this year, Falcon fans. Do not sell your tickets. We have a winning team. We're going to have a winning team.
Do it.
Don't sell your tickets to the ops.
That's right.
Season ticket holders, yeah, we y'all trying to make a couple, what, 40, 50 bucks? And they're going to tax you for the ticket too? Like, come on, ticket holders. Like, don't sell your tickets because you see the Cowboys coming in here. I can make some good money from them. They'll pay anything. Do you want to know why they'll pay anything? Because their fans travel everywhere. And
because they're committed to their team. You should be committed to your team. They're
should be dedicated as a Cowboy fan, and they've been asked for years, and they're going to come up here in this Benz. But there's some Falcon fans that's like, yo, I want to go over here. I want to go over there. I want to go hang out with some Falcon fans. I listened to a podcast the other night. There were some Falcon fans talking about they want to go travel with some other fans. Well, guess what? You want to travel with some other fans? Join the Rise Up Tour fan club. All we deal with is away games. And you're going to hear that on Wednesday night. The chat is going to be live and lit talking about, I'm going to be here week 5. I'm going to be here week 9. The chat is live. The chat is lit on Wednesday night. Don't forget, we got Miles Garrett Wednesday with a podcast during the day, and then we have our One Time for the Fan podcast at 8. But as you can see, over 1,000 members are in this group that love to travel to away games. And there's some diehards on it. I know y'all probably know Ravage. You see Carrie's in there too as well. Big shout out to Carrie. Oh, look, there goes Berto. But of course, we have a membership too as well. And Falcon fans are like, well, what's up with this membership thing that you got? Well, with the membership, we have some perks that we offer to Falcon fans. Mm-hmm. And a lot of fans be like, well, what are some of these perks that you guys are offering to the fans? Well, don't want to speak too much about it on air, but of course, there are members from last year that remember what we do. Of course, with traveling on the road with the hotels and some of the other things that we do to make sure fans not only get some discounts on the road, but they can hang with other fans 24/7. You wake up, you can eat breakfast with Falcon fans. You go to sleep, you're gonna party before with Falcon fans. Hell, you might be walking back to the next location with Falcon fans. All we do is just worry about Falcon fans. We're a diehard fan base. But the cool thing about it is, Terry, fans know that there is a membership involved. And tonight, I can proudly say that I'm going to take care of some of the additional fees for some of the members who want to sign up to be a member of the Rise Up Tour.
That's awesome, Jack. That's awesome.
Right? Because there is a membership involved. But if you sign up today, there is a flash membership sale going on with the Rise Up Tour. And it's the Rise Up Tour fan club .flash. Now, /flash. /flash. Say that 5 times fast. That was too much.
Yeah, tongue twister.
Rise Up Tour fan club flash membership sale is live right now, and it's going up until Wednesday. Now, for fans that up until 11:59 on Wednesday. Once again, the Rise Up Tour flash sale is going up. Now, let's look at this sale quickly here for Rise Up Tour people that want it, that's interested in joining the club. If you don't sign up today, and you want to sign up Thursday or Friday, next week, Saturday, for new members, as you can see here, I'm going to present it for you all. For new members, it's $125 for membership. For returning members that we have from last year, of course, you guys know it's $100, but it's $125 for membership. But I got a little check. I got the bag. I'm going to help out some members between now and Wednesday.
Love it.
If you want to be a member of the Rise Up Tour fan club, what you can do is you can type in right here at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and put it up for you all. And don't forget, we'll go to every away game. Every single away game. We put on events at every single away game. And we'll do it at the Super Bowl. If Falcons make the Super Bowl, you already know who you're going to call. So let's not even go there. But for the Falcon fans that want to be a part of this tonight, head over to the Rise Up. Wait a minute. RiseUpTourFanClub.com. I forgot to put the flash. I want to make sure. Holy shit. Hold on. Bam. Here it is. Got it up for you. Rise Up Tour Fan Club /flash. You can see it right here. The flash membership is up, Terry.
It's up.
The flash membership is up. The flash membership is up $52 right now for the limited membership for the Rise Up Tour fan club. So if you want to be a part of the Rise Up Tour fan club, you can head on over to the website. Matter of fact, let me close all this out because this is pissing me off. There we go. You see, Terry, one thing pisses me off. A bunch of open websites that I don't need on here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to any away games this year, right here you can see it, the RiseUpTour.com, the RiseUpTourFanClub.com /flash. You can get your membership right now at a discounted price. And I'll take care of the rest of the fees, so don't worry about that. As you can see right here, the limited membership, $52 that you can sign up. Because this is our special because we have the schedule release on Wednesday, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And we want fans to be ready for this season. We want fans to know that when we go to Vegas this year, there's going to be an event for Falcon fans. When we go to Denver this year, there's going to be an event for Falcon fans. When we go to Philly, when we go to Washington, hell, there's an event damn near every minute for Falcon fans with what we do. Terry, you're going to wake up in Washington and say, wait a minute, you guys are eating breakfast where? Wait a minute, you guys are going where? Wait, what's happening at 3? Wait, what's going on at 8?
I would really appreciate it, sir. If you could just see it in your heart to, bring back some beignets. I'm just going to put it out there. So
it's very much so possible I can bring back the beignets.
I would be most appreciative of that, sir.
Falcon fans.
Yeah, I would be most appreciative.
My boy Terry said he wants to. DA Hunter says, I'm jumping on the membership, Jack.
That's what's up. All right, DA.
Met DA Hunter a couple years and met him in. Matter of fact, DA Hunter was with us in Cleveland when we first started our Rise Up tour parties. If I'm not mistaken. And he was in Tennessee last year too as well. DA Hunter, is good to have you back here in the chat and on the channel talking Falcons football. But DA Hunter travels to away games. I'm sure he's seen what we have done with the Rise Up tour fan club. The party in New Orleans at Razoo's. You guys have seen it before. You guys have saw what we did. Look at DA. He said, yes, sir, day one.
All right.
You guys seen what we did in LA. You guys saw what we did in Seattle. You saw what we did in Cincinnati, Miami. All of these games that we've been to. Look at Pamela Johnson. You will not be disappointed.
Love it. Love it.
Now we're taking it to the next level. We are raising the bar. And of course, with our amazing crew that's working behind the scenes that people do not see and do not hear about a lot. They're doing a great job of making sure everybody is taken care of. Our membership team, our social media team, our security team, everything that we got going on, man, it's like in an amazing way. And I want to give a big shout out too as well to Shannon Joyner. Big shout out to Shannon. If you guys know who Shannon is, tell him that Jack Spade from One Time for the Fan and the Rise Up Tour Club fan club said big shout out to you, Shannon. But also, Terry, we do thank you for that podcast earlier because we got a chance to talk with Thomas for about 2 hours about the vision of the Rise Up Tour fan club and what's going to be happening soon with the crew. And of course, like this year is big. This year is big. I can honestly say that from Kirk Cousins to Michael Penix to, just what fans are expecting with Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Grady Jarrett's coming back. And man, we're going to be winning on the field and off the field. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. You're going to be winning on the field and off the field, right? So for fans that want to sign up for the Rise Up Tour fan club, you can see it right there on the screen. You can head on over to the website, theriseuptourfanclub.com/flash. But there are some restrictions too as well on this membership, right? There is a swag kit that we give out that fans usually expect the swag kit every year. And we do have the swag kit this year. But if you're signing up for the flash sale, you just get your lanyard because we have our lanyards. And then you would get added to the email list and then added to our private group, right? So you won't get the membership kit. You only get the lanyard, the email list, and you'll get added to the private group, which I think most fans want that email list because that's where all the goodies are at. You know what I'm saying? Because we send out everything on that level. We don't put anything out on a personal level no more to fans who's not going to be in the membership group. But at the end of the day, when we have our parties on Saturdays, everybody's invited. But Terry, this is great, man. It's been a great time talking Falcons football with everybody. We will have another podcast Wednesday with Myles Garrett from Fox 5.
Yes.
Who's going to be in here talking Falcons football with us. Bring all your questions, bring all your comments, do whatever you want to do when it comes to asking about the Falcons, but be respectful to Myles.
Yes.
Myles also will not answer anything that can get him in trouble with his job.
Amen.
Right?
Nor should he.
We don't want to put Myles in that situation of, come on, Myles, you know what was going on in that.
Right.
Myles ain't going to answer it.
Right.
Right. And of course, the schedule releases that day. So we might get some leaks the same time that Myles is in there chatting with us. That's going to be during the day. So look for the social media pages because we will go ahead and put that out for the time. We do know it's Wednesday, but Miles is busy right now, so he says he's going to hit me back in a little bit. Matter of fact, he just texted me. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that shortly. Oh, good. He gave that's a decent time. I'll let you know, Terry. But of course, at night, Wednesday, we have the Rise Up Tour Fan Club podcast, which is going to be the schedule release because our fans in the group are excited about traveling, right? And if you're excited about traveling this year, if you want to go to Vegas, you want to go to Denver, you want to go to Philly, and you want to be, hooked up in a way as a fan, like you want fans to look out for you from a fan for a fan, join the Rise Up Tour Fan Club right now for .com/flash, right? You get your discount. You don't have to pay the full amount. You can pay the discounted amount, which you guys can see right there. $52 right now will sign you up. Now, what you want to do is you'll fill out the first page, first name, last name, date of birth, your address, because we send some stuff to you in the mail, some pretty cool swag. And then, of course, your city, your state, your zip code, your phone number, and then, of course, your nicknames that we'll add to your lanyard because we want to make your lanyard all cool. And then once you pay, you hit that button, you hit submit. It goes to the next page, which will bring up the payment information, which then you'll be able to pay. Terry, this has been a great show talking with the Falcon fans.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be back Wednesday doing it again.
That we shall.
And then we're going to be back Friday morning with another special guest that we have here to talk Falcons football with us. I know fans are going to be excited about that because we love bringing writers and journalists and other podcasters and, of course, announcers here to the channel. And we have a good friend of ours who was on the channel before, and he's coming back again. And he's writing now for a nice group called The Sporting News, right? But Savion Mixon is going to be here on Friday morning, one time for the fan. Breakfast with one time for the fan. Savion's going to be here with us talking Falcons football. So it's great that we have a show. Yeah, we have a show Wednesday afternoon, then we have a show Wednesday evening, then we have a show Friday morning, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe a pop-up show in between, right? But Savion is going to be here talking Falcons football with us, Terry.
Let's do it.
This is great. Look, you guys got his post up about Zion, how he fits with the Atlanta Falcons, right? He got his Casey Washington post, how Casey Washington fits with the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see what Savion has to say about Casey Washington, right? His positives, right? Post NFL draft conference, Fontenot stated that Washington is the prototype at wide receiver. Let me see. Come on, what's this? Oh, he has. Look at the Sporting News. Oh, they got their videos up and everything. You can't beat that. Washington is the prototype at wide receiver. At 6 foot and 197 pounds, Washington ran a 4.46 40-yard dash. Brog jumped 10, had a 39.5 vertical at his pro day. With that mixture of size and speed, Fontenot immediately dreamed of him as a gunner on kickoff and punt coverage. He also uses that large frame to his advantage in the run game as a blocker. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, Savion is even breaking down what is going on with the Casey Washington pick for Atlanta and how he fits for the Falcons. And we can ask Savion that question Friday, right? We don't have to sit here and go over all these quick bites and notes and all that stuff. Savion's going to be here Friday. So ask him the question about the draft. Ask him a question about the schedule release. Ask him a question about the primetime games we're going to have. I'm sure Savion would love to talk Falcons football. Hopefully for more than an hour, because we can keep going here on the channel, right, Terry?
Yes, sir, we can. Absolutely.
We definitely can. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man. This has been great talking Falcons football with you, Terry.
Yes,
any shout outs for tonight, sir?
Yes. Guys, and a lot of you in the chat know my mom is fighting a battle right now. And to be quite candid with you, she probably is not going to make it to next year's Mother's Day. So this is for her. Mrs. Georgia Wilson, you have been my mother my entire life. You have carried me. You have nourished me. You have inspired me. You have encouraged me. You have been there for me in my darkest days, in the most desolate times, and I will forever love you. I know I was a problem child. I know I was difficult. And Mom, even though you are transitioning, and hey, if you live to next Mother's Day, great. But when you go, I want you to know that I will continue to represent you as best I can. I will be the best husband, father, brother, son, employee, friend, young man, Christian I can be. And I love you, Mom, forever. And even though you are leaving, it's just a transfer of energy. You are always with me. You are in my heart. You are in my mind. You are in my brain. You are in my soul. And no one can take that away. And I just want to thank you. And whenever you're ready to go, it's okay. I thank God that He chose me to be your son. And I have nothing but good things to say about you. And with that, Jack, I'm going to defer to you.
I would just end the podcast right there. Honestly, man, that was a shout out worth all the praise and everything, brother. Like, you're going through a lot, and we've talked on the phone a few times this week. We also in the chat talking a lot about what's going on, and you've done a lot, man. And our prayers go up to you, and prayers go up to your family.
Yes, thank you.
And of course, I know this is it's a tough Mother's Day for you, but then again, it's also a great Mother's Day for you too as well.
Yeah.
You know that you've done a lot, Terry, to be the man that you are today, right? And I'm sure Mom Dukes is definitely appreciative of that too as well.
Yes.
For those in the chat, happy Mother's Day to all the Falcon moms once again.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day.
I know it's 2 more hours left in Mother's Day, but that's every single day. Right. It's a happy Mother's Day for all of you. Every single time you join the chat, you join the podcast. We can talk Falcons all day, but when we end the podcast, what else you want to talk about? Like, we don't have to talk Falcons, right? It's life that we have to deal with.
And if your mom is still alive, hug her. If your mom is still with you, hug her. Whatever issues are going on, it ain't that serious. It is not that serious. If your mom is still alive, call her. If you haven't called her, shame on you. But call her and tell your mom you love her and tell her you appreciate her. And hey, man, everything else can be worked out, because let me tell you something. People are not forever. They are not forever. And I thank God for my mama. And to those of you whose mothers have gone on, you have my heart with you today. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm real raw right now, but I'm going to be all right. My mama told me, and again, it's a little spoiler alert, but Thomas said something that it just went all through me, and I'm going to let you watch it. But guys, hey, man, if you still have your mothers, hug your mothers, love your mothers, appreciate your mothers, and just enjoy this day, man. And that's it. Jack, I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say anything else, sir.
Hey, so, we don't want, I mean, it's life. I know there's a lot of people in the chat that, respect what we do here at One Time for the Fan, but outside of One Time for the Fan, we do have lives. And my good friend Terry here is he's been going through a lot, but he still shows up to make the podcast, talks for an hour, 2 hours. But when he ends the podcast, he has to go back to taking care of what he has to take care of.
Yep.
And, I think he does appreciate all the support in the chat. And it's a serious moment for here at One Time for the Fan. Like, we put Falcons aside, right? So Terry, you can see the amount of prayer and support coming in from the chat, from the channel, from people who has never met you yet, but they can understand who you are from listening to you on the channel here. I think people can see that Terry has been a good addition to the channel.
Thank you.
And of course, Bodie, who does a great job, and he's in his off season right now. Chase has so much going on with him. I think, do y'all know that Chase has another child on the way? Like, Chase is living the dream right now, right?
Chase
He's a hard-working individual. He takes care of his family, but then Chase also has a lot going on his side too as well. So sometimes you might not see everybody,
right?
But for Terry to take the time out of his day, knowing that these days are everything for him, it means a lot. Not only for us here in the chat, but for me at One Time for the Fan. I mean, I told Terry today, anytime you have to take away, if there's any problem, he's like, nah, man, I want to be there for the channel. And it's like, it's not that, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Rather you take some time for yourself. And he's like, well, I know, but I feel like the chat and channel could be there help me out, could use it. And it's like he loves the channel, he loves the podcast, he loves the fans, he loves talking with the fans. We're trying to get Terry to go on the road this year. Terry's like, I'm not a road guy. You're gonna go on the road this year. So it's gonna be something that we can look at as fans all together.
Yeah.
And we all can, go through those difficult moments together. Not football, difficult moments together, in life, and then we can all pull through together. So we're all sitting here on the channel, giving our thoughts and prayers to you, Terry.
Thank you. And God, first off, Jack, thank you so much. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for everything that you've done. Hell, man, thank you for having me on the channel, because you know what? You didn't have to. Thank you. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Thomas, thank you. To everybody in the chat, guys, thank you. I don't feel bad today. I feel love. I feel love. My mother told me she loved me this morning, and that's all that matters. But you know what? She told me 6 months ago, hey, I want you to start your podcast. I've been trying to start it for 4 years. So I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this, when I say I take her with me, I'm serious. And y'all know how it is. I'm from the South. When your mama tell you to do something, you do it. So, hey, she told me to do this podcast. I'm going to do this podcast. Yeah, I'm hurting. I'm not going to lie. But I'm glad that, number one, I have y'all. Everybody in this chat has done nothing but extend love to me. My brother Eric Parker called me the other day and he said, hey, man, I know what you're going through. And I love that dude, man, because he has a way of being there for you, but not being intrusive. And hey, man, I thank all of y'all. I thank God for all of y'all. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. And I'm going to get through it just like everybody else, man. I'm not the first person that this happened to. I won't be the last, and we'll get through it. And hey, you never know. Maybe we win a Super Bowl this year. And hell, if we do, I'll celebrate that, hopefully with my mom too. But hey, man, all right. I appreciate it, guys. And I can't thank y'all enough, man. Really can't. Thank you.
Well,
thank you all.
This is what it's all about. One time for the fan, one time for the Falcons family, one time for, everybody here on the channel, everybody in the chat. We are all in this together, right? Let's go win us a Super Bowl
Yes, sir.
As a Falcon fan. But then at the end of the day, let's all be successful too as well.
Yes, sir.
What we have to take care of off the field. But for fans, I see there's people hitting me up about, the tour and everything. They're signing up. I thank you all. We want to make sure everybody's a part of this. By the end of the day, like I said, let's just go win in life too as well, right?
Let's do it. Let's
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We're back on Wednesday talking with Myles Garrett first during the day, and then we'll be back for a special schedule release podcast at 8 p.m. Terry?
Yes, sir.
I thank you, sir.
I thank you, sir. Enjoyed it. Thanks to the fans. Thanks to everybody. Love my chat members. And Thomas, man, good doing that show with you. You guys, please, when you get done with this, check out our show that we did earlier today. I think it was fun. Jack, would you say you had fun? I had
a great time. Yeah, I had a great time. It was about a 2-hour podcast. It had about 10 questions that, you talked about, what's the vision of the tour and how we're going to take care of things this year and, how we started back in the day. But at the end of the day, schedule release Wednesday, man. Let's go have some fun, man. Terry, talk to you later, brother.
Hey, man. Have a good one. Thank you.